Oh my god. Is that why it wasn't working? Yes, it is. I got a mouth guard so that I could fix my back. Drooling. Is my fucking drool dead? Okay, no. I gotta get the bees. Right here. Come on. And your mouth is so juicy, baby. Oh, spider. I thought I got rid of you. Fucking spiders. Brr. There was a spider in my bed on me. Which means the spiders are coming out of the woodwork. He's gonna go to sleep. Don't wake him up. Don't wake him up. Hi, Merlo. Nice. Oh my god, I can feel my posture better. It's a mouth guard. It's a mouth guard. So, oh man, it works too. My jaw is sore. So, if you've never heard of cranial stacking, look into it. Do you remember when I was at Josh's house and I was doing all the exercises and stuff like that? At that time, I learned about cranial stacking. And so essentially, the way that you bite down in your mouth, it's like your body's like a fucking, it's a stack of dominoes or whatever, you know? So if your bite is off center, it's going to throw off your entire fucking body. So if you can correct, like my bite, I have an overbite, like you can't see my teeth, like it's a total overbite. It doesn't really seem like it because but I have an overbite. So my teeth should go like this. They go like that. And so when I have a clenching problem, and ever since I gave birth to Elliot, I started grinding my teeth. I never ground my teeth before I gave birth to Elliot. I was pregnant with Elliot. Josh grinds his teeth. Elliot grinds his teeth. I ground my teeth while I was pregnant. And the whole time that I was living on that property by myself for the 3 years, I was apparently grinding my teeth in my sleep. Because look at this tooth, how it's completely flat and worn down. And this one has a point. I've completely worn down this whole side of my teeth right here. It's noticeable in my mouth. Like I can feel it. Anyway, I've been thinking about cranial stacking and I've been trying to be conscientious about it for almost a year now, about when you see me cleaning the house, I am conscientiously trying to like have my mouth open a little bit, but now I don't have to be so conscientious about it because this is called Revive, R-E-V-I-V, a Revive mouth guard, and it is designed to put your jaw, okay, so you have 3 parts to your cranium. There's the top segment, there's the middle segment, which includes your top jaw, and then your bottom segment, which is your bottom jaw. So over time, what happens is your face actually, your skull kind of deflates over time. And by doing cranial stacking, you can kind of you can put your cranium, all of its pieces, essentially back in the correct spot. So that's what I'm doing, cranial stacking. Mean Bean, Jesus. And yeah, it goes that way. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing, cranial stacking. I'm gonna clean the bus. I need to go get a broom. Oh, fuck. Oh, this metal is sharp. Oh my God. I think that the carnivore diet is probably the best diet out there. And if I could afford it and I had like a place to store all the food without it going bad and the ability to prepare and cook food the way that I would probably be on the carnivore diet. I need to go get a broom. You all done? Good one, egg. Here, bud. Oh, you got it. Get your egg. Me too, Rissy.
to basically try to win. Come on, cheaters. So all I'm trying to tell you, they need to stop with all this because y'all can't beat me. Cannot beat me at all. None of y'all. All y'all put together can't beat me. And look what it took. It took all of y'all, but make sure y'all get out and vote. April 1st is election. For those that don't know, April 1st is election throughout all the other races, of course, because I know y'all gonna vote for me, right? Tiffany Henry for supervisor. I'm stopping the vote. I'm feeding the people. I don't care what nobody say. That part. So I just want you to know the who's and make sure you open your eyes to what's going on right in front of you so that you'll know what's up. But y'all ain't paying attention because y'all so caught in the hype and in the mess. It's called distraction. Get rid of the distraction and open your eyes. Leave all the mess over there and read and educate yourself. Y'all better pay attention to those that's loving on y'all and actually standing in the fight for y'all. Get beat up for y'all. You need to pay attention to that because it's not gonna never ever be another love like Tiffany Henry ever.
Do you remember the Thornton Township brawl? We all saw that chaotic brawl a couple weeks ago online and thought, you know, someone's going to get arrested after all this mess.
It happened during public comment, fists flying in a moment of chaos that residents described as disgraceful.
That should never happen. I just couldn't believe that it came to that.
Moments earlier, activist Jedediah Brown had called Supervisor Tiffany Henyard an expletive. And when he appeared to walk toward her, supporters jumped in. The result, an all-out brawl that multiple witnesses say involved Henyard herself.
And it took a while, but sure enough, we got our wish. The center of this issue right now is DeMarcus Quigley, one of Dalton's finest. And by that, I mean one of Mayor Tiffany Henyard's loudest and proudest supporters. I would say. It's like watching the entire Tiffany Henyard Titanic sink and betting on which deck chair hits the water first. And it looks like it's this guy. Quigley jumping on top of Quigley, what's happening? You jumped in to fight. Why are you on the table? What's happening here? Why Quigley's on the table? So here's a breakdown. March 28, 2025, the day that the drama escalated basically into handcuffs. Quigley's got a felony preliminary hearing on a docket, which means whatever went down wasn't your average parking ticket situation. We're talking about some big boy charges. And we all saw the fight. It was ridiculously chaotic and very violent. The state of Illinois is coming at him hard, and you know it's serious when you drag out that whole quote-unquote people of the state of Illinois card. They are not playing around. The arrest came after a chaotic string of events that left everyone wondering who was going to take the fall first. We all saw that fight. It was like watching a trailer for the WWE pay-per-view. Henyard's boyfriend, Kamal Woods, kicked it off trying to fight the activist Jedediah Brown. The whole fight looked like an episode of Maury with the governmental twist. It was wild. There was a lot of fist flying. It was a lot of people screaming. And somehow Henyard herself decided to jump in like she was trying to win a fight back in high school. They get into the fight. And then you see Tiffany right here. That's the her shoes are off. She has no shoes. She is shoeless right now. And she's in the thick of it. She ran faster than I've ever seen. And she ran in for her guy. And she's in the thick of it. I don't know if she's throwing much punches. So the fallout from the whole circus comes as follows. Kamal Woods got fired from his at-risk youth program, which again, I don't know if he was actually doing any work. And when you're dealing with youth that's maybe dealing with some issues, you don't want to represent yourself by trying to fight people. It is what it is. He's no longer there.
I would like to make a motion to put Kamal Woods and William Moore on administrative leave.
Yes, I did leave my land. didn't sell it.
Quickly, he played his cards way too close to the mayor's chest. He's probably one of the last Henry diehard supporters, the kind of guy who will jump in from a bus if it's too powerful for 5 more minutes. And when you're that loyal, sometimes you forget being a ride or die doesn't include committing felonies on camera. According to court records, Quigley's arrest on March 28th wasn't some quiet behind the scenes.
So many screws!
His escape, bring down the hammer. They took him to custody, filed the case, and went through all the legal motions fast. And then you could say, super mayor. Just slapped him with a felony charge, appointed a public defender, which is pretty sad. I mean, I think the Superman should give him one of her lawyers. And even set conditions for his pre-trial release. Namely, don't talk to certain people. And I wonder if 50 Mayor is one of those people on that list. Check out this. At the court, he was in the custody. Like I said, the public defender was appointed. He had an appearance. He has conditions of the pre-trial release. He has refrained from communicating with particular people. He was transferred. They had, and he got released from custody. So he's no longer arrested, but he does have to go back to court soon, April 11th. So we'll definitely follow that. So this whole situation is just a symptom of disease. Henry's administration has been about as stable as a three-legged chair. From the corruption allegations to the brawls, breakdown in public meetings, the whole situation just felt like a spinoff of Love and Hip Hop, but with way less love and way more hip-checking people into tables and trying to pick up TVs to slam on top of each other's heads. Or maybe it was just because power really does corrupt, and Henry's team took that to heart. Either way, the saga continues. We'll have a preliminary hearing set for April 11th, 2025 at the Markham Courthouse, where Quigley is going to have to answer to whatever the state is throwing at him. Right now, we don't know exactly what the charges are, but if he's smart, he's already rehearsing some maybe he's already going to snitch to the feds. Who knows what he's actually going to do? I mean, the fact that he was stomping on people's heads, he was trying to grab objects, it doesn't look too good for him. It's interesting that he's the only one getting arrested when you think about Tiffany running in there. After all that, everyone was fighting, and the only arrest they have is DeMarcus Philly. Let me know if that makes sense to you guys in the comments below.
Really fucking screws.
I think she's not really trying to win as a writing candidate for the supervisor. I think she knows the writing's on the wall. I think she's done. And now we're just going to be discussing the fallout from her team, from her herself. What's her next move? Because at this point, it's done.
April 1st, it will be too late. You will put all the riffraff, all the chaotic people in office once again. Because y'all got a lot of crooked people that's in politicians, right? In politics. Yes, we know that because a lot of y'all stealing my ideas. Y'all talk all this mess. She did, she that, pitch on it. But y'all pitch on everything. Y'all doing everything I'm doing. You're mimicking me. I'm flattered, thank you. This is why I'm trying to wake you up. The stuff at the president level, Congress, Senate, all that comes and trickle down later. But right now, the local level, that's immediately. Like right now. And I'm telling you because I don't want you to be impacted by what's going on. Another thing, food, right? That's why I call it feed the people.
It's done, and a lot of people are going to be getting some charges. A lot of people are snitching. Feds are still around. We will see exactly how this all plays out. But let me show you guys something about this situation. Thank you for taking time on this video. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
Everybody gave up, throwing the towels, that get this, I'm moving on, everything, all of that. But I always try to show y'all strength of a leader. Because most leaders run. Most leaders don't stay in all of this that I'm standing in for you. I only stand in it because I care. If I did not care, I would not still be in it. There's many other things I could possibly do.
Y'all, I'm letting you guys know from the jump of this video, I am going to be rambling a lot because, y'all, I do got to give you guys a lot of context. If you guys have watched my videos, like, religiously, then I have talked about this before, so I'm like, I don't want to play the same clips. I would rather give you guys a little bit of context about this because it is relevant to the story that we're talking about today. Before we jump into it, in case you guys haven't been checking out my previous videos, I don't want to be like, repeating myself in every damn video, but obviously I have to. I created a Patreon account. It'll be linked down below. There's going to be exclusive content on there, private lives, so many different things, y'all, because I really do want to give you a bang for your buck, and I'm so excited to get that started on over there. So make sure you guys click the link down below and head on over to Patreon, because I will be having so much exclusive content on there. Go ahead and check it out. Anyways, that way I don't ramble too much about that. Let's go ahead and jump into this, because Brianna Olsen and Vale are opening up and finally talking about Ash Trevino, and this all goes down to the situation that I did talk about before, that Ash Trevino was down there hanging out with all these young kids, okay? If you guys don't remember, I made a video that was titled, Ash Trevino got her group of teen friends arrested, something along the lines of that. So basically, she was hanging out with all these people like D. Kane, and I want to say, was that guy Chairs in there too? I don't remember. But Brianna Olsen, Vale, all them, which I am so sorry. I gotta say this, and I know I've like repeated myself on this, but it still really just boggles my mind that she was out there trying to go into these bars and clubs and restaurants that are 21 and over with a whole group of young people. And y'all, I gotta say it too, like I low-key was like, oh shit, I didn't even know that Violet was that young. But y'all, she is 19 years old. Apparently, like she goes around with a fake ID.
You motherfucker.
Look, one thing I'm never going to do is get on the internet and be a fake bitch, okay? Because I know there's so many people out there like, oh my god, I can't believe she's 19 and she's going to the bars and clubs. Y'all, when I was 19, I was running around with people sneaking me into bars and clubs too. I am so sorry. I'm not condoning it. I am not saying that it's okay, but I can't be a fake bitch and, you know, try to like shame her for doing that when I did it too. The one up that I can only ever have is obviously I did not have kids, okay? Like she literally has 2 kids and it's like, girl, why are you running around doing all these things with all these, you know, older people, you know? Like Ash Trevino, I'm like, girl, why are you keeping with Ash Trevino? She's literally double your age. Like, okay, not literally double, but almost double, y'all. Like literally, like she's 1 year off of being double. So that's why I'm kind of like, it's crazy to me. But I don't ever want to be fake, but I do see a lot of people on TikTok saying, oh my god, I can't believe she's getting unplugged. And I'm like, obviously she has a fake ID, okay? And look, I'm gonna be so rude to you guys. When I was in high school, I had a fake ID too. Oh my gosh, I know. Go ahead and shame me all you want, but I understand it. However, this is what I always say is, the internet is forever. Everything that she is doing on the internet right now obviously can come back to haunt her in the future. Let's say, for example, if she wants to give up a social media career and then ends up wanting to be a lawyer or an attorney, don't you think that obviously these clips are gonna forever be out there and be like, oh, damn, you want this girl representing you in a court of law when she used to do this, this, and this, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously, as we know, a lot of people are not forgiving. They will bring up shit from 20 years ago and try to hold it against you as if you can't change, you know what I'm saying? So that's where I think it's a little bit crazy. But anyways, I got off on a little tangent there. I think it's so crazy because if you guys don't recall, they were carrying some illegal things on them, okay? They were allegedly carrying some snow and some cucumbers, you know what I'm saying? And Ash Trevino had some things in her bag, allegedly, okay? And she wanted people to hold her bag. She said before, by the way, the things that were in her bag that she didn't know about it because somebody had asked for her bag and she was like, I don't know what they put in there. Like, you know, it could have been this, it could have been that or whatever, but it was still in her bag. And at the end of the day, y'all, it doesn't matter if it's yours or not. Obviously, if you have a purse out there, if you're someone carrying a purse and somebody put something in your purse, even if it 100% wasn't yours, if the cops were to pull you over and find that on you, you're obviously going to be held liable for that shit. So this is where I'm like, girl, you're a grown-ass woman kicking it with these like 19, 20-year-olds. You're letting them put illegal things inside your bag, and when the cops roll up, she was looking for somebody to hold her bag, okay? And she had asked Brianna Olsen and Vale if they could hold the bag because she does have a CPS case open against her, and they both were saying like, girl, like, well, Brianna Olsen was like, I'm going through a custody battle right now, and then Vale's like, I'm about to be going through a custody battle right now, so no, I cannot take the heat for you guys, okay? That's the context on that, by the way, which, if you guys don't recall, I am so sorry, but I made a video talking about this too. I was like, Ash Trevino has got to be the dumbest person on the internet because she literally got out there and clearly she got away with whatever she got away with, you know what I'm saying? If she did have illegal stuff in her bag, she got away with it, okay? So leave it at that, you know what I'm saying? She got up out there and said that she was, you know, asking people to hold her bag. I'm like, why would you openly admit to this on live? This is where it's kind of like, okay, girl, you got away with it, go ahead and shut your mouth and keep it to yourself, you know what I'm saying? This is where I have to say, like, she is so damn delusional. Like, I think, this is just my opinion, because she's so, like, you know, deluded in the brain that she actually thinks it's cool. I actually think that she feels like an it girl because there was some illegal shit in her bag that she's kind of like, oh my gosh, like, look, I'm a bad bitch. Oh my gosh, look at me. Like, I ride for my people. And it's kind of like, girl, you're a whole mess. Anyways, I do want to go ahead and play a couple clips to where Brianna Olsen and Vale were talking about this situation because they did bring it to light recently, which, if you guys are not following the Brianna Olsen and Vale drama, like them going to Miami and things like that, damn, like, I am so sorry. These girls are a fucking mess. Like, they are out there just fighting, being crazy, acting so ratchet, and I'm just kind of like, whoa, what's, like, going on right now? Like, I think it's so crazy that Brianna Olsen specifically is like, girl, you're in the middle of your court case, and you're over here acting like that while it's being recorded and you're in public. I think it's so crazy. But anyways, go ahead and check out these clips right here to where they are talking about Ash Trevino.
And then she... That's what men in jail do. Like, and the men that actually talk to you in jail, they pillow talk these bitches to get them to put money on their commissary and or bail them out. Yeah. And to, like, financially support them. I tried to put them out with my dad. I wouldn't ask. She divorced him, too. And then she also funded this guy for, like, 5 years. He got out, fuck over her face, and then, like, he left her. Jesse. And she still talks to him. She's a dumb bitch, bro. We had her on the screen last night on FaceTime. And, bro, I was so dumb. I watched the clip last night, and I was like, I was pissed, and you were like, bitch. Remember?
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. So now he's like not talking to her? That's so sad, bro.
No, they still talk. He still uses her and she still sends him money because she's a dumb bitch. Like, you know how those girls are? Like, they'll just do anything just for a little bit of attention. It's like, that's why you hate your life. And you're jealous of people that are young and turned. No, okay, so when we all got arrested with Ash in San Antonio, DK brought his bitch. You were there? Bro, we were there. Yes. Oh, what? Okay.
I didn't even know all
Alright.
And Ashby was there.
I'm gonna give you a very quick recap. We go to San Antonio to have a fun trip. All of us are collabing, we're vibing.
Yeah.
We go to the San Antonio Riverwalk. Mind you, the whole world hates Ash. So we're riding a horse around the San Antonio Riverwalk, a carriage.
Yeah.
And so people are sitting where we're at. We're like, we're gonna go to the steakhouse on the Riverwalk. You know, y'all can come say hi, whatever, vibe. Bro, instead of vibing, these motherfuckers hate this bitch so much, they fucking doxed us. They call the restaurant. They're like, refuse them service. So at first, the restaurant was like, y'all go wait y'all table. We come out the bathroom, me and her, we're like, where do you guys go? They're like, bro, they just told us to get the fuck out of here. Like, we gotta go. So after we were all there walking, we walked past these guys. This motherfucker had straight up in his open carry. They don't give a fuck there. So me and her walk past. I'm oblivious as always. And she runs up to me. So I'm a little bit ahead of her waist. I go, are you serious? So we catch up to Ash and our whole group. And I'm like, bro, like those guys flashing it to us. And they're like, bro, I know. They just asked Ash for a picture and she said no. So we're getting kicked out. We're getting called on. People are flashing. Like, bro, what? So last resort, they're like, just go to Rainforest Cafe. Bro, everyone's like, why'd you go to Rainforest Cafe, you broke bitches? I'm like, everyone was refusing us service. So we go to Rainforest Cafe, we sit down, order waters. Because people were calling saying refuse them service and saying we had
All this fucking conversation bullshit.
Okay, but the thing is, we Texas open carry. They were all registered except for the one that DK had that his girlfriend took the charge for, the felony charge. He had a switch on it that's 10 years automatic felony. Switches are illegal. She got out, but she still has a felony on her record now because she took the fall for him. Don't be dick whipped. Dumb bitch. Dumbass fucking bitch. Bro, I would never take a charge. Fuck out of here, bitch.
That's crazy.
Anyways.
No, Ash tried to get us to take the charge because she thought she was about to get in trouble because...
So she admitted it too.
Yeah.
She looks at us dead ass and goes, can y'all please take her seat?
We're not cool with them anymore. It was
Ray. You tried to have us take the charge. You know I'm in a custody battle right now. And you know she's kind of going through a similar one. That's fucked up. You and ask. She goes online and goes, they wouldn't take a charge for me. I'm like, bitch, are you serious? You guys think you would be mad about that?
I have CPS cases, bitch.
Bitch, I have worse. So then we go to Rainforest Cafe, we sit down, helicopters come up, we get swatted, everyone's like, they're like, stand the fuck up, we're searching all of y'all. So they find, it was like 50 million views online. We had hundreds of people swarming us. We had people running up to us trying to fight us. The cops had to like block them off.
No, we asked the cops if they could walk us to our car.
After.
And they were like, no. We're like, what?
They're like, no, we're not.
I
Like,
see all these people trying to attack Ash. Like,
so yeah, whoop-de-woo, they got released because, mind you, they're registered, so everything's good. Except for DK and his girlfriend went to jail because they had an illegal switch on them, which is obviously illegal in Texas, actually anywhere. Automatic 10-year felony. And then, so yeah, that was the whole thing. So we were all there.
oh my god.
Huh?
They
They bailed out, but it was like $500,000 bill. It was like literally, she put like 60K. I think this bitch put like 80
No, she...
and got broken up with.
She did it. She was asking me, she was like, can you put money down to help me? And I was like, bro, I'm not going to What? What the hell? That's how this one
Bro, that's actually insane. Well, anyway, she ended up doing it, bro. And so we were there. We obviously didn't get in trouble. So that's the whole story about like all the shit that went down in Texas with Ash and everyone. It was fucked up, bro. It was fucked up. And I was just glad that I didn't get in trouble because I'm a victim for real.
As y'all saw from right there, they're calling on Asher for obviously being a hot mess and her wanting, I think what it is too in this whole thing of her like even, you know, opening up and saying that the bag was hers, I think that it makes other people out there think like, oh, this girl right here is gonna ride for me, and I think that's why she always wanted to date people in jail because it made her feel so secure, because it made her feel needed. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, all the people that she's dated before in jail, they need her because they're like, damn, I need some money on my commissaries. So obviously, I gotta hit her up and like sweet talk her, and she obviously just likes that. I do gotta say this, and I look back at this whole situation that happened, and it still blows my mind, y'all. Like the fact that me and Asher are literally 1 year off in age. I am so sorry. I'll kick it with my little brother, but y'all know I told you guys before, like, I feel weird even if I was, like, hanging out with my brother and, like, his friends, you know what I'm saying? If it's a family function and his friends are there, okay, whatever, obviously, I'm gonna, you know, kick it with my brother, but I'm not gonna actively go out with my brother's friends, and I'm 22, so I'm just kind of like, the fact that she's out here hanging out with 19-year-olds, you know what I'm saying? It still blows my mind, and the fact that she's actually out here asking them, like, oh, can you have my bag for me? It is so crazy to me. I just think it is so damn bizarre. Also, too, because they were, like, you know, briefly talking about DK in that situation. From what I have read online, it was let out, and I'm so confused by this whole situation. Because there was some, like, rumors out there that somebody was holding, I think it's that guy named Mitchon, I don't know if you guys have heard of him before. He was, like, holding bail money for it, and then apparently DK said, you can keep it or do whatever you want with it. Which I thought that whole damn situation was a mess. And I tell you what, if I was holding bail money for somebody, and even if they did get let out and they didn't need the bail money, I'm giving it back to you, no matter what, especially if these girls have committed crimes before. Hell no. When it comes down to money, people get really, really messy. I just stay away from that, but clearly this one don't care. Anyways, y'all, that is it for this video. Make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout.
Have you ever seen an old picture of a celebrity and thought, why in the world do they look like decades older when that picture's only from 2 years ago? Why do they look so much older today than they used to? Like, just take a look at how much Millie Bobby Brown has changed in just a couple short years. How is it possible that she's only 21? She's 21? This is insane. I mean, the hair definitely makes her look a lot more mature, but I could not believe that this was her. I thought it was a completely different person. Body tea. Body snatch. Comments, she looks older than Sofia Vergara. A little bit of a reach. Maybe because her face isn't infused with all the fake substances like everyone else. Interesting take. I feel like they might be doing the entire Kylie Jenner face transformation fiasco with Millie like in real time. Or maybe you've caught yourself wondering, is everybody secretly on Botox and fillers like Millie might be and we just aren't keeping up? We have no idea what's actually going on? Well, it's time for some real talk today, ladies and gentlemen. Plastic surgery might be actually ruining your face. From the complete normalization of Botox, which is, yes, the botulinum toxin, all the way to the new Ozempic face craze. Today, we're diving so deep into how this insane craze of trying to constantly look younger is actually, over time, making us look
Significantly older.
Sound contradictory? Well, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because we're about to break down all of the weird and wild ways that these so-called tweakments can completely backfire, big time. So you think every single person going out and getting Botox would just look automatically, like, so refreshed, right? Instead, a growing number of women are looking perpetually surprised or have that unfortunate and uncanny pillow face. So is all this plastic surgery thing really making us look worse? Because that's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of today.
I've been saying for a really long time that this female obsession with cosmetic procedures shows that we're not in a good place, and finally people are acknowledging something's wrong. Because women don't really look like human beings anymore, and they're calling it pillow face.
No, like, this is an actual problem. You guys, like, I don't understand who decided that looking like this disturbed pillow face that doesn't move, is better than looking old. Like, if you had to show me at 80 with normal wrinkles looking so saggy, God, pray for me that I'm still hot. Pray for me that I still look good by then. Or you show me my plumped up pillow face 80-year-old version of myself where I'm trying to pretend like I'm not ancient, I would pick having wrinkles in a second. These people look terrifying. It just looks bad.
Pillow face. Pillow face refers to this new trend where hundreds of thousands of perfectly beautiful, healthy women, in trying to become even more beautiful, even more perfect, are literally disfiguring their faces with filler. And not only does filler never really dissolve, which causes pillow face, it also messes with the lymphatic system, which can cause cancer. So even though filler doesn't improve the way we look, and it's also a risk to our lives, we women can't stop doing it. Because we bought into the message that we women have an expiration date, and God forbid we show any signs of aging, we become completely irrelevant. So we will do anything to stop that from happening, including disfiguring our faces or risking our lives.
Honestly, really well played. And it's super weird that we ignore pillow face in men. I'm looking at Ryan Gosling, and it's not okay. Oh, honey, we are not ignoring it. Ryan Gosling, like, he lives in a pineapple under the sea. Like, what is happening there? The Madonna pic? What? No, like, don't even get me started. Like, this is an actual, this is a train wreck.
I have been seeing these photos of Kylie Jenner all over the internet. Let's talk about it. So in the before, you can see that her face is a bit more pillowy, it's more full, and in the after, she looks more natural and sculpted. So one theory is that she had all of her injections dissolved and she got re-injected. That is possible, especially nowadays. The medical community is moving more towards a conservative approach to filler, only injecting the minimum amounts needed for the right person in the right places to avoid this pillowy appearance. But let's not forget other factors that can change a person's face. As women, our weight fluctuates, we change makeup styles, we start skin treatments, and don't forget that lighting is a huge factor. And in the after picture, you can clearly see that the lighting was much better. So instead of picking apart what she could have done, why she looks better, let's just celebrate that she looks great regardless of why.
It's a facelift. Just thought I'd let you know. Since she won't say it, it's a facelift, obviously. Whether it's that completely frozen forehead from Botox or those weird lumps from fillers that never actually go away, something's definitely off and something's fishy. And it's all happening while the mainstream is constantly trying to tell us it's just a harmless tea. She just went and got a new hair color. You're a liar. You're lying. So let's start with the big one, the big B, Botox. Botox is actually derived from the botulinum toxin, which is one of the most dangerous toxins in human existence. I don't know why you guys always want to play it off like it's different. It's derived from a horrifically, very disturbingly deadly. I couldn't even add more leaves if I wanted to. A type of toxin you don't even want to touch. It is one of the deadliest poisons known to humankind. Like, that's how crazy it is. In tiny medical doses, it can completely paralyze those pesky muscles that form wrinkles. In very large doses, it can actually remove an entire country, which is crazy. So Botox works for a while, but what happens long term? Many people get completely addicted to the no wrinkles look, and I can imagine how hot it is. I can imagine how good it is. I can imagine if I eat and keep thinking how much more snacks I would love. But people get addicted and they go back every 3 to 4 months. Eventually, their faces lose the ability to make normal facial expressions. Kind of like this video of Hannah Mojo, how she makes that very off-putting Botox face. Not the Botox smile. So like, oh my god, that face is gonna look like give me another Botox. Oh my god, that Botox because it's crazy. Yeah, like it really will. I just wanna say I'd rather have a frozen face. And then when I make that one face, it's weird. But then like I don't have wrinkles. Well, is this supposed to be a smile? Like, why did she make that face so? I'm crying. And then some of the amazing comments, what's wrong with having wrinkles? When you live in Hollywood for too long, you understand that you're not allowed to have wrinkles. You're just not. Like, nobody's allowed to have any wrinkles. You're not allowed to age. If you age, you're done. Maybe it's because the richest of Hollywood haven't actually learned how to connect with people on a deeper level. Real relationships aren't all about grand gestures or stage moments. They're about real connection. And that's why I absolutely love the Paired app. Paired is the ultimate relationship app designed to help couples stay in love. Society always romanticizes the thrill of falling in love or the honeymoon phase, but they never talk about the skills it takes to maintain it. That's where the Paired app comes in. With daily conversation starters, fun quizzes, and expert-backed advice to actually help you and your partner communicate better. It's not about just fixing problems. It's about growing together, deepening your bond, and making time for each other in a meaningful way. Did you know that couples who engage in daily conversations about their relationship report feeling happier and more connected? That's why the Paired app makes it so easy to check in, share thoughts, and even play relationship strengthening games. I mean, in a relationship, you learn more about each other every single day, and the Paired app makes it so much easier. And my favorite part is the relationship timeline. It lets you plot out your best memories together and plan for the future. So you're not just coexisting together, you're really building something wonderful. If you want to bring more love, laughter, and closeness to your relationship, now is the perfect time to try Paired. Click the link in my description or use my code to get a 7-day free trial and 25% off Paired Premium, so you can maintain and deepen your connection with your partner. Thank you so much to Paired for sponsoring this video. So then, after all this Botox, you end up getting that frozen vibe, that completely emotionless look to your face, where your eyebrows barely move. Is that really the look that we're going for today, baby? It is what the girlies like. My face before I got any filter. She looks like a baby face. Okay, that can't be real. That just can't be real. This has to be a joke. No, this girl she's killing me. She's absolutely lying. And now this is not just solely something that we used to understand as women or moms going off and getting Botox like it was a totally normal thing. This has now seeped into teenagers as well as young women that haven't even hit their 20s going ahead and getting their preventative Botox. So here we go. Here is baby Botox. Obviously it's not Botox for babies, but it's pretty much Botox using. And why would somebody want to do baby Botox and at what age? Well, could be in the 20s, could be in the 30s, and the best reason to do it is to prevent lines and forming. Now, what does that mean? Think of it like this. The more you use the muscles, the more the muscles crease, the line in the skin is going to form perpendicular to the direction of the muscle. So when you use zinc down the muscles,
It's rough, put them down like this, and first put on the vertical. It's a bit like ironing into a pant. If you keep ironing your feet into the pant, eventually that's going to stay, and the same thing goes for creases between your eyebrows. Now, you also understand that the reason that these lines form is because these muscles pull, and when you pull with these muscles, it drives them down. Over time, they settle lower. So your forehead muscles fight against those, and they raise up.
Actually, there are zero studies that show preventative Botox actually prevents wrinkle formation. I started baby Botox when I was 22. So now that I'm 27, am I just done for? Like, my face is screwed. Like, I'll never have the baby talk face. So it's interesting that so many people love this idea. They think this is absolutely fantastic because the thought of wrinkles and aging is just so disturbing to a lot of people. But ironically, freezing your face too immaturely can actually change how your face develops over time. Sometimes it actually makes you look older because you never developed those normal facial movements. I just can't imagine that we're supposed to have Botox at 17. I just can't. I can't get behind it. Actually, is what that is.
Preventative Botox, it is not something you need. I'm a 39-year-old board-certified dermatologist. My focus is on cosmetics, and I'm here to tell you that preventative Botox is actually a joke. And you may be asking yourself, what the hell is she talking about? She's clearly Botox. The reality is, I am not. I am not clearly Botox, nor have I been doing Botox at a fetal age of 22, 23, 24. When patients are coming in asking me for Botox that I refuse to give them because they have no signs of aging on their faces. Botox should be started when you have built-in lines that do not disappear at rest.
This is what so many people get confused, is that it feels like before you even have any visible lines, you should be fixing them. Fixing the lines that don't exist. But she's making it very clear that once you have those lines, that's when it might be the time to make this decision for yourself. By the way, this is Dr. Shireen Idris. I actually use her facial cleanser from Sephora. It is so banging. The fact that she put out a skincare line, I actually believe her. The proof is in the pudding, and I use it, and it's really good.
Lines that appear to form permanent deeper grooves on your face. That is when you should start considering quote-unquote preventative Botox. But it's not really preventative because the lines are actually already there. The other thing about preventative Botox that people often assume is that they need to do it immediately once the movement comes back. That is wrong on all counts. I much prefer your movement come back slowly and naturally so that you do not lose the essence of your face by the time you hit 40.
That's weird. It's just weird. Have you guys ever heard everybody talking about the fact that we're not even supposed to really know what we look like? Like, if we were in, not even ancient times, if we were Neanderthals, if we were the first early humans, the only time you'd ever see yourself is in, like, the reflection of a still lake. And maybe not even then. The obsession that has grown for people and women because of social media and how obsessed we've become with our looks in general, it's just disturbed. Like, there has to be a form of life that is so much more enjoyable than caring this much about how you look. So the whole point is, if you start Botox at 18, you might really regret it by 30, and I truly believe that if you wait, you are so much better off. Now, let's talk about your beloved fillers, because people just can't stop loving fillers. They love them. No matter what kind of information comes out, no matter how many people say it might not be the best idea, people love them. Now, we're talking about hyaluronic acid fillers being injected into your cheeks, your jaw, your nose, your lips, literally anywhere you can stick a needle, even in your butt. Not in your butt, but on your butt. The mainstream narrative is that it dissolves in 6 to 12 months, so there's absolutely no harm. But is that actually true?
Dermatologist. A lot of these fillers can place a certain time period on how long they last based on the studies that they're doing. So 6 months, a year, 18 months, whatever the case may be. Those numbers represent how long they followed people in a study. Basically to say, okay, we saw at 6 months in the majority of people, the filler was still there. At a year, it was still there. At 18 months, it was still there. Those are not caps. Doesn't mean that filler never dissolves. It's just that there is variability in the amount of time that it takes it to dissolve. Variable from filler to filler, different from volume used, different based on the person it is, based on their activities. It's different based on where it's injected in the face.
So you heard it there. Apparently fillers do dissolve. It's just that the rate specifically can vary, and that specific video that we've gone over 1,000,001 times on my channel, I've talked about fillers so many times, is that woman had an exceedingly large amount of fillers. So while this is personally a good thing to know and a good thing to understand, I'm also trying to say that, like, different fillers on different of the face are all going to dissolve at completely different times. I really want to have a conversation about filler because I think more and more people are starting to notice and realize the long-term effects as opposed to focusing on the instant results. Some months back in a TikTok I explained about my lip filler costing people because it is more than 4 years ago and I still have migration outside of my lip line. You just have no idea what that person could be going through internally. They may be completely regretting it and have no idea what to do to fix it. I'd love to have a more snatched jawline. I've gained a lot of weight and I'd love to straighten this out and have a more angular jaw, but is it really worth it to risk it migrating and not presenting more unhappy? In my opinion, filler was never meant to give you an entirely different face shape and baby cheeks and all that. As far as I know, it was created to replace volume loss as you age. So women in their 20s and 30s getting a filler, you think you're doing this anti-aging thing, but sorry, in my opinion, like, it makes you look more mature, makes you look older. This is exactly it. I feel like because humans are such greedy creatures, and when we get something that we love, and we love the look of something, we're like, how do we do more of it? How could I have even more if I want it? That is what is so dangerous. It's consistently going back, and you do not know when you're constantly filling and overfilling and doing so much into your face, when it's actually going to be dissolving, if it's going to dissolve in 2 or 3 years, and you just keep building on top of it. It's a slippery slope is what that is. And when we talk about all these fillers, we just cannot forget the lips. We are in an era where everybody wants the fullest, most juicy Kylie Jenner pout. If you don't have that, are we even people? We need that thick, juicy lip. But we keep consistently refilling them and needing more and wanting bigger lips and bigger lips. You might end up getting that horrible migration and that terrible filler shelf at the top of your lip. Like, just think Hailey Bieber's overfilled lips. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it. She's such a good example. Over time, fillers can completely migrate over your lip, creating these weird lumps and ridges, and it is not cute, and then you go through an entire process just to dissolve them. How to tell if your filler is migrating? Now, some of the easiest ways to tell are the lips. If you start to see filler along a white roll, which is the border between the skin and the skin, oftentimes you'll see filler bleed into it. But filler can sometimes go beyond that too, and you'll actually filler the skin. I can't. It's my worst nightmare, you guys. Like, that is like, when I'm laying in bed at night and I have a nightmare dream about Nicole and O'Brien trying to sell me stuff, I also have this dream simultaneously at the same time, just terrified of my lips getting messed up from fillers.
Your lips look like this, and so how you have lip filler migration. If the volume of the lip is moved outside of the mark,
No!
this is filler migration. This is not normal enough, not that necessarily a glamour look like this. So this ideally should be stretched to dissolve and refill, so this is not natural and not normal.
I think people are just addicted to the fullness. Like, can you get down with the fullness? Like, they love how full their lips are. They do not think they're actually falling off their lips. How is it that people talk about Hailey Bieber's lips so many times and she's never done anything about it? She loves it. Oh, Mrs. Bieber. Some of us have double lip lines naturally. Actually, her lips look completely fine. Yes, double lip lines are normal and can be mistaken for class 2 lip filler migration resulting in a leg, but a class 3 migration results in a larger cell, which is not the same as a double lip line. But hey, they never warned us about that on Instagram, did they? Back in 2018 when Kylie Jenner was busting out her big lips, she never said, just letting you know, you might have to deal with this in a few years. Yes, the lips don't look great forever. No, they won't. No, they won't. We now live in a world where Instagram filters can literally give you mini surgery in 2 seconds. Bigger lips, smoother skin, a boxier eye. So we get so used to seeing ourselves that way, so filtered, even on Facetune, that then when we see ourselves in person, in real life, in the mirror, it's not so flawless, unfortunately. Let me speak for myself. That's why so many people are chasing actual plastic surgery to have that filtered look in real life. It's become so normalized and so mainstream that your literal next door neighbor might be talking about their Botox appointment that they got during their lunch break. We're starting to treat these procedures as if they're as casual as going and getting a manicure done. But let's not forget that they involve needles, foreign substances going into your face, and many potential complications.
Some people do get nice results, subtle and balanced, and I'm not telling you to avoid any cosmetic changes that you particularly want for yourself, especially if they help you overall, both mentally and physically. But the problem is, you get used to a new look and you want more and more. So you give me more. I'll come back in 6 months, get me to 3 months, so here we go. I'll come back in 2 months. I'll come back even sooner than you want. Suddenly you cross the line or your esthetician messes up, and eventually it ages you painfully. It has aged years, and you have to be mentally finally figured out why.
Let me tell you why she looks so much worse after her master Botox.
Hi, my name is Dan, Bay Area Aesthetic.
her, and what most likely happened is her injector accidentally targeted some of the rosorius fibers on the side. She has a droopy smile. As I mentioned in my previous videos, the rosorius is a muscle that comes across this way and attaches to the corner of the mouth and allows us to pull back like this. So if the Botox accidentally affects this muscle, you're going to get one side that doesn't go back, like it's pinned down, just like what she has going on. The problem with this is then you get this recruitment of all these other muscles that try to activate because you can't pull the corner of your lips. That's why she has a deeper smile line and a deeper crease right here, because you get more activation of the lip elevators and more activation of the DAO down here. Good news is that this will go away, but unfortunately it's probably going to take 4 to 6 months, possibly longer, just because of how many units were used.
4 to 6 months? Catch me doing the craziest drugs before I ever do this. I'm so sorry, you guys. You just, like, would you trust... I'm sorry, I just don't trust anybody. Like, how can you trust anybody? Because people make casual mistakes, but a 4 to 6 month long mistake? My self-esteem could never. I'm already struggling day to day. I don't need more issues. It's been 5 months and it's still not normal. I feel like it never will be. I got 20 units on one side. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Rest assured it will go back to normal, but can take some time due to the dose/temporary muscle atrophy. Stop it, girl. Case in point, the recent drama surrounding Miss Millie Bobby Brown. She is so young, but so many of her fans are convinced that she's looking so much older due to cosmetic tweakments. Mostly alleged fillers, but also potentially some very insane contour. Some say she's even lost a lot of her youthful contours, and people from her new movie, The Electric State or something, they just think that she can't even play a teenager anymore because she looks so damn old. What?
Everyone is talking about how Millie Bobby Brown is looking much older for her age.
It's 21. Do we feel different?
You're not just paying for a syringe or two of filler. You are buying a feeling. Cosmetic injectables give you a level of confidence.
video, you can go ahead and click here. It's a really, really good one. Now, if something goes wrong in surgery, you could have permanent asymmetry. So yeah, we're talking very serious, irreversible changes just to look younger for a few years. Is the risk really worth it? Especially when people are pairing it with the new kid on the block, Ozempic. Ozempic. Now we need to talk about Ozempic and the Ozempic face phenomenon. You've probably heard all of the buzz about Ozempic. Maybe it was a video of mine, or maybe you've seen the disturbing commercials, because I know they disturb me every time. It is a diabetes medication that has been repurposed for weight loss. Suddenly, half of Hollywood is rumored to be on it, and people are even getting diagnosed with osteoporosis only a year after using it. It is some serious hard stuff. But one very serious and unintended side effect is the Ozempic face.
And the thing about rapid weight loss or things like Ozempic is whatever happens to your body is also going to happen to your face. So what they're saying is a lot of loss of facial fat volume. Volume in the face is also going away. And it's not necessarily a great look, because what everybody knows as we get a little bit older and we're losing volume in our face, we tend to look gaunt, we tend to look tired, tend to look older. And all of those are effects of losing the fat in the face along with losing fat in the body. The other thing with Ozempic weight loss is that it's rapid.
Rapid weight loss can cause sagging or even a gaunt look, especially in your face. So while your body might be getting slimmer, your cheeks will deflate. Your eye area can also hollow out, and you can end up looking older. You guys know I've shown this one. Insanity. Oh, Kylie just got older. I don't know. These are my sleep paralysis demons. Like, they're like there when I'm sleeping on my back. Jessica Simpson, get away. But the Ozempic body, though, we love her. And because a lot of people are losing this weight without any exercise, they are experiencing a lot of sagging. It's like we're chasing perfection at any cost, even if that means layering more procedures on top of one another. But let's face it, constant tweaking can spiral into real body dysmorphia. I make a lot of jokes in these videos, but something like this, the actual... TikTok and social media. It's not just influencers that are shoving their new face into your face. Here is the kicker. We live in a culture where it is very hard to allow women to age naturally, especially on camera. So much so that women don't even want to see themselves age. Kylie, what do we think?
I don't like it.
You don't like it? Not even a little bit?
I don't like it at all.
All right. I mean, you do look older than Kris Jenner.
No.
Yes. I doubt you're gonna end up looking like this, though.
No.
No. We've been told so many times ever since we were young that our value truly lies in our youth, which is just not true. Wrinkles and gray hairs are seen as some sort of horrible weakness. Like somehow it's negative to be growing old, as if it's not a complete blessing that we are old enough to even live to see the age of 60, 70, 80. Heck, when I tell a young person that I'm 27, they go, 27? What? Like, they can't fathom it. Like, it's somehow so negative to be growing old. And that's just something I don't understand. What's wrong with growing older? As if it's not completely natural.
There are a lot of people who saw your magazine covers and they're like, oh, wow, she's 37? And they're surprised, but you've never lied about your age. So what's your reaction to that reaction?
I find it really funny because the same thing, I just decided pretty early on that I was like, I don't think I want to lie about this because I think the industry is really ageist, but then I'm like, I'm going to be a hypocrite if I try and lie about it and continue on like playing this game that I don't believe in and I think is really damaging to women primarily. So I'm like, also I did not come from like, I'm not a Nepo baby. I don't have any connections in the industry. I had to work my ass off to get to where I am, and that took me this long. And I'm like, I'm really proud of that. So
she looks like a baby. Like, she looks so youthful. She's just being herself. And even with that, somehow celebrities are spending thousands to just never age ever.
This is Madonna from 1983 to 2024. Look at the evolution of her and her face. This is probably one of the most interesting transformations of anyone that I've seen in recent history. And stay tuned for the end of this, because how she changes in the last couple of years is very interesting. And I want you guys to think about it and think about if she's potentially using some kind of new age therapy, maybe telomeres. I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but they have enough money, these people are going to start using reverse aging technologies. As you can see here, aging, starting to look pretty old. You know, as she's getting older, as you can see, she's 66. I don't know what's happening here. Look, suddenly, boom, what is this? Madonna, what happened there? What the heck? What is that? And then, all of a sudden, here, right? Interesting for someone 66.
Respectfully, it is not any sort of like crazy juju juice. Like these girls are just getting their skin snipped off. Like they're just getting the skin snatched, pulled away, and tons of fillers. And it's just modern plastic surgery with however much money you want to spend. You can look however the heck you want to look. This double standard completely fuels this massive panic around aging. So it's no wonder that women are feeling so incredibly pressured to get Botox at 25 years old.
We're not dying at 50. What are we doing with this next 40 years? Gonna boo-hoo about not being 25? I don't need to be who I was when I was 32. I need to be who I am. There's no such thing as aging gracefully, and there's no graceful or ungraceful way to do it. You just do it. I don't want to be one of those people who's like, oh, you're 50, you have to cut your hair short. I'm the person who used to be like, that's not age appropriate, and now I'm like, fuck those rules. There's something about not playing small in a world that always makes you feel that way. That is like an act of bravery and beauty like no other.
I love Stacey London. You guys, do you know how many episodes of What Not to Wear I watched when I used to be sick on the couch when I was like, I don't know, 9 or 10? I love her. I love her whole vibe, and I absolutely, just because you get older doesn't mean you're not you. Do you think I see here? Okay, granted, I know a lot of you ladies are always like, Lael, you don't know anything because you're still a baby. Super fair. There's not a single day that goes by that I wish that I was a teenager. I'm so happy to be my age. I would never want to go back and be a child again. It doesn't make any sense. How else can we experience and live life unless we age and grow older? All of our life experience comes with age. And also, why is it fair that men get to be so hot when they get older, but women are looked at as grannies? Ageism has turned natural aging into a stigma, so we end up with an entire generation terrified of a natural biological process, and ironically speeding the aging effect with too many cosmetic tweaks. And that's the thing with Millie Bobby Brown. Take a look at this video of her from the past few years. 14 years old, 16 years old, 19 years old, and 21 years old. I think Millie Bobby Brown is the perfect example of that crazy celebrity stunt where all of these celebrities, one of their oldest tricks in the book, the moment that they get a procedure done, they will change their hair color because you are so much more focused on her new bleach blonde hair that you're not even focusing or looking at what she might have gotten done on her face. So her lips don't actually look like they have a ton of fillers. You can do very microscopic amounts of fillers, so I can't really like throw it away completely, but she looks like she's had plump lips for a very long time, ever since she was a kid. And if anything, maybe she's just doing some crazy new makeup because she's young and she can do whatever the heck she wants. Definitely a subtle overlining is really fooling us into thinking that's some crazy stuff going on. Go ahead and look at her with brown hair. I think it truthfully suits her and her complexion a lot more. The blonde hair is what is making her also look a lot more mature, especially the Pamela Anderson updos. It's really giving 30. It's definitely not a bad thing, but I think it has to do with why so many people think she looks so much older. We might be able to freeze our wrinkles, but we can't freeze time. The more we try to fight it, the more that we float into the uncanny, something is off territory, and you start not looking real. And trust me, a lived-in face with healthy lines often looks far more vibrant and alive than a face unnaturally frozen in place. And having your face frozen is only one of the complications. discourse and something to absolutely tread with caution can lead you to that dreaded territory of overfilling, overfreezing, and ironically looking a lot older than you are. And always remember that sometimes the best treatment is just accepting the natural aging process, lines and all. Because trust me guys, we are not the first to have aged. There have been many that have come before us and they have aged beautifully and gracefully. And even if it's not that beautiful, what does it even really matter?
Oh, that
I
thing
would be
is
so much
great.
more worried about my grandchildren and baking for them and playing with them in the backyard and like probably praying because I'm gonna be scared to die. You know, all that normal stuff. If you guys enjoyed this video, you can go ahead and click here to find out why plastic surgery is kind of ruining your body, girl. Don't get the BBL. I promise you don't. You don't need the BBL. Your booty is bouncing exactly as it is. Or you can go ahead and click here to find out how everybody is having facelifts these days and what a facelift actually entails, because I don't think you're fully aware of what's going on here. Also, make sure you guys go ahead and check out the Paired app. They offer a 7-day free trial and 25% off premium down in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching. You know I only make these videos because I love you and I only want the best for you. I hope you have an amazing day or night or whenever you're watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye.
So I need to build the bed.
Since we last saw Luigi Mangione in court, the man accused of stalking, shooting, and ultimately killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Now, as he sits behind bars awaiting trial, he's making a bold request. The 26-year-old wants access to a special laptop. His attorneys argue it's not for entertainment or communication, but to review evidence. Thousands of pages of legal documents prepared by the prosecution. But the Manhattan District Attorney's Office is pushing back. I'll walk you through the details. For Law and Crime News, I'm Kennedy Walker. Luigi Mangione's legal team is gearing up for what is expected to be a highly publicized trial. The 26-year-old has been indicted on 11 state charges and faces 4 federal charges, including first-degree murder, murder in furtherance of terrorism, criminal possession of a weapon, and stalking. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to all counts. Now, his attorneys are making a controversial request. They want Mangione to have access to a laptop while behind bars. Their reasoning is the large amount of discovery evidence prosecutors are expected to provide. In a recent filing in New York State Supreme Court, Mangione's defense team, Karen Agnifilo, Mark Agnifilo, and Jacob Kaplan, revealed that discovery includes more than 15,000 pages of documents, thousands of hours of video, and other critical material. They argue without a laptop, there simply aren't enough visiting hours for Mangione to properly review his case with them. The laptop, however, would come with strict limitations. It would be unable to connect to the internet, run video games, or other entertainment. Requests like this are not unheard of. In fact, similar accommodations have been made for other high-profile defendants in the federal facility where Mangione is being held, including music mogul Sean Combs, known as Diddy. After being denied to a laptop in December to prepare for his legal defense against sex trafficking charges. But in Mangione's case, prosecutors are fighting back. The district attorney's office is opposing the request, citing concerns over witness intimidation. They claim some witnesses in the case have already been threatened, though Mangione's lawyers insist he has no connection to those alleged threats and that the claims should not be taken seriously. With a high-stakes trial looming, the battle over this laptop request is just one of the many legal fights still to come. Luigi Mangione has already made headlines for his high-profile legal battle, but last month it was his wardrobe that caused controversy in the courtroom. Mangione was granted special accommodations for what his legal team described as his fashion needs. Before a court appearance, he was allowed to change out of his jail-issued clothing, a privilege rarely extended to defendants. But prosecutors say he violated that special treatment when handwritten notes were concealed inside of a pair of socks he was permitted to wear. According to a recent filing, there were 2 personal heart-shaped notes, one addressed to an unknown person named Joan, and the other written to Mangione himself. That note in part read, quote, "Know there are thousands of people wishing you luck." Despite the notes being discovered, prosecutors say Mangione was still allowed to wear the socks he had chosen, but later he changed out of them, allegedly because he felt they did not look good. Meanwhile, support for Mangione has not slowed. A defense fund already raised more than $760,000 and is now pushing to reach $1 million. And joining me to talk more about this is legal expert Serena Townsend. Serena, thank you for coming on. Let's dive right in. So Luigi Mangione's lawyers argue that without a laptop, he cannot effectively review discovery evidence. Do they have a strong legal argument here?
They absolutely do. First of all, it is not uncommon for detainees to have laptops in federal custody to be able to review their evidence. Second of all, the amount of evidence, the volume of evidence that has to be reviewed is probably bigger than most people's discovery or evidence in their cases. And they're not wrong. Karen Agnifilo, his attorney, is not wrong to say that it's pretty much impossible for Luigi to participate in his own defense, which is a right that he has, without his ability to really concentrate and focus on the evidence that the prosecution has against him.
So how common is this when people are requesting laptops? Does it seem like most inmates are requesting laptops for evidence?
Not that common, and particularly it's not that common in state cases. So Luigi is in a very particular situation where he's locked up in federal custody because he's got the federal case pending. But this particular argument was with the state and the state's case. Now the feds have said that they have no problem with Luigi having a laptop. And that's probably because it's a little bit more common in federal cases where there may be more evidence or more discovery to go through for them to allow those laptops into federal custody. But the state, the Manhattan DA's office is simply refusing to allow him access to that laptop. And I think it's because they just don't see those requests as often. And they're claiming that it's dangerous for him to have that laptop.
Yeah, speaking of that, like how you said, the prosecution, they strongly oppose this request, citing witnesses.
Dude, holy shit. This thing is moving my mouth around. Like, I can feel my palate. That is nuts. And where my teeth are like crooked in my mouth, I can feel like they're tender. This is crazy. I'm really like, so I have to record footage of myself using this and I have to brush my teeth anyway. Okay, I got 10%. 10% battery. Guru Nanda Gentle Giant Dual Action Bristle Toothbrushes. Oh yeah, I grabbed the teal one by accident. Okay. And they gave me flossy things too that I think I'm going to use first. So I got these dental picks, 2-in-1 floss picks. Well, a little bit, a lot of packaging, guys. It's for a health conscious and earth conscious company. It's an awful lot of plastic. Wow, that's cool. Look at the bottom of that. Neato. I have so many cavities. Medication is destroying my teeth. Huh. Oh, I think I have an abscess. That sucks. My fucking perfect teeth. Living this lifestyle has destroyed my teeth. I get on this medication. This literally happened in the last like 3 years. I had no cavities, perfect teeth, literally in 2020 or 2019 when I went to the dentist. Hopefully this stuff remineralizes my teeth a little bit, helps me out. We shall see. It takes months to get an appointment at the dentist. Okay, so we got this is for after your oil pull, but I'm gonna brush my teeth first. And then I'll rebrush them after I oil pull if I need to. But I need to brush my teeth. Ooh. Those are is soft, but still nice. It's raining. Wow, I like a super. This is a really fucking good toothbrush. It got everywhere, but it didn't scratch up my gums. But it got all the stuff off my teeth. Like, there's no little fuzzies anywhere at all. They're like polished. There's one spot. Clean out them tonsils. All right, now what? Oh yeah, it is really wide. Dude, it literally covers both of my teeth. It feels, I'm actually really thoroughly amazed. It has a really good tooth scraper on here too, so when you're brushing the back of your top teeth, you can push and get on your teeth better, and it's brushing your tongue, and it really does a good job. My tongue, it's almost, clean without needing to be tooth scraped. Okay, so now, God damn it. So I'm gonna do this mouth, motherfucker, I swear to God. Okay, you just go right there. I'm gonna try the mouthwash first. Because it already opened. Yes, okay. So you get both of these. I put too much. Okay. That has an interesting taste to it. It takes away like all the funky, like, you know how even after you brush your teeth, still like there's like that place, like where your tonsils are and stuff. It could like still feel a little funky. That's why I gargle really hard. Okay, tongue scraping. Oh, wait. I hate anything in my mouth. Man, that's cool. So fresh and so clean. All right, so we got directions. Shake well, open one pre-mixed Guru Nanda coconut oil pulling packet. Swish between your mouth for at least 2 minutes. Once done, spit the oil out. Do not swallow. Another tongue scraper. That's the third tongue scraper I got. I'm gonna give one to Elliot and one to Josh. Give one to my boys. So this is this is their oil pulling stuff, and it has a little like dose thing. But I'm gonna use the whitening one, and then I'm gonna after I'll leave it a little bit in my mouth and put it in here. They also give you a mouth thing in this kit. Can't use my teeth to open things anymore.
I don't know how the Democrats came to appoint Jasmine Crockett as the unquestioned leader of your party, but thank God. And I think what she should do is go on TV twice as much as she is right now, maybe 3 times as much. Because every time she appears and makes one of these mistakes, says something radical, it only further divides her party from the rest of the other 80% of America who can't stand this.
Boy. So once again, we got to talk about cat-toed Democrat Jasmine Crockett, who is putting her foot in her mouth so much that videos of her and the things that she said before in the past are now going viral, right? That is what's happening. People are digging up old clips of Jasmine Crockett saying unhinged things because lately she's been saying unhinged things. And people just start to realize that she's just an unhinged person in general, okay? And the latest clip that is going viral of Jasmine Crockett saying things that, in my opinion, are racist, right? I mean, she's just a flat-out racist at this point. Let's be real, right? She criticized Byron Donalds, okay, who is a black Republican, for having a white wife, claiming that he is whitewashed.
Yummy. I love this shit, man.
For having a white wife.
I was a little bit skeptical, honest to God. Okay, everybody was like, oh, you remember that was like the first thing that ever popped off on, oh my God, what the fuck happening here, Orly? My TV is on the bed. Awesome.
Take a look.
That not everything in this world has been fixed, but I can tell you that there's one team.
Yeah, you hit it with the bone? Dude, did you crack the TV? Oh, can't see. No, okay, good. He's throwing his fucking bone around. But the oil pulling stuff from Guru Nanda was like the very, very, very first thing to ever pop off on TikTok. And that lady who was doing it, that was selling it, you know, went viral or whatever. She made a whole shitload of money, and it was just like, it was crazy. So I was skeptical. I didn't want to try it.
And if we continue to put people into office, and that even means some of our skinfolk who definitely are not our kinfolk, such as Byron Donalds, who are going to continue to say that, like, I mean, the fact that you sitting around talking about life was better under Jim Crow, like, is this because you don't understand history?
Well, like,
or literally it's because you married a white woman, so you think that whitewashed you? I'm not really sure, like, what it is,
well,
but
I
need...
Well, you couldn't even be married to a white woman under Jim
Crow. Correct, and it took Joy to call him out. So I'm like, bruh, like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you saying? Like, he just out here, you know, I feel like they give him his talking points, and he's like, yes, massa, I got it. And it's not enough. So neither party is perfect. I will agree with that. So people that take issue with both parties, I completely understand. There is no perfection that actually resides on this earth, but there is a party that at least is striving for a more perfect union.
Wow. We have a sitting congresswoman criticizing her colleague, Byron Donalds, for having a white wife, right? Saying that he may be whitewashed because he has a white wife, right? And that, I guess the GOP just tells him whatever.
This is how the mouth guard came.
Yes, massa, right? Basically trying to say that he's a slave for the GOP, which I'm going to get back to in a minute, right? I'm going to get back to that because I find
it says that
to be
it's expected to have some mouth soreness as it shifts the soft palate of your mouth.
Let's actually go back to the whole whitewash comment.
And it helps with teeth grinding.
Again, a sitting congresswoman is criticizing her colleague
Well,
for
no,
having a
no, no,
interracial
no, no.
marriage.
You cannot
And
have their dog
for whatever
food.
reason, this
No,
type
no.
of overt
Absolutely
racism
not.
is
No,
just
sir.
accepted in our society, right? Where it's
Not
just okay
happening.
now for a representative to just be overtly racist.
Sorry.
Okay, now again, if a white person was to criticize a white colleague for having a black wife, okay, or a black husband, that would be the #1 news story in the country at the time. Again, she said this maybe like 3 months before the election, right? Again, the clip is going viral now. I guess somebody found it and then they posted it, and now, you know, it's being posted everywhere, right? But regardless, my point is that if a white person had said something like that about a white colleague for marrying a black person, people would be losing their minds. But, you know, just like most liberal black women, right? They seem to have a problem with black men that don't marry black women, right? But they're totally fine, they're totally okay with black women that marry white men, which is why I have never heard her accuse Kamala Harris of being whitewashed for marrying a white man, right? Why is it that we've never heard Jasmine Crockett criticize AOC for being with a white man, or Ilhan Omar for being with a white man, or Ketanji Brown Jackson for being with a white man? It seems to me all the so-called soul sisters, the so-called women of color in the Democrat Party, they all love the great white pipe. Funny how that works, right? Why is it that black men always get this criticism from black women for marrying outside of the race, right? Not marrying a black woman. But again, when a so-called black woman does that, which again, you know, Kamala Harris, again, debatable about whether or not she's black, okay? Regardless, Jasmine Crockett believes she's black. So again, why is it that Jasmine Crockett, why she had no smoke for Kamala Harris? Why she had no smoke for Kamala Harris? Okay, if who you marry affects your politics, right? Is Kamala whitewash white liberal politics? I don't know. But I personally believe that Jasmine Crockett is, right? Jasmine Crockett is whitewashed with white liberal politics, even though she ain't got a man, right? And the reason why she ain't got a man is because of her attitude, right? She ain't got a man for the same reasons why black men are not marrying a lot of these black women anymore, right? That's the reason why she ain't got a man, right? Which is hilarious to me. She is single for the same exact reasons for why some black men are deciding not to marry black women, right? And she's too stupid to realize it, right? To be honest with you, okay? But, you know, again, I want to get back to this point in which she was talking about how, you know, Byron Donalds is just out here saying whatever I guess the Republicans want him to say. And I guess I can make that same argument for Jasmine Crockett, who, again, claims to be pro-black, but yet she supports abortion, which overwhelmingly, disproportionately affects black women, okay? When you talk about black population growth, yeah, one of the reasons why it's not growing is because of abortion. Again, something that Jasmine Crockett supports. Also, on top of that, you guys saw at the beginning of the video, right? She clearly supports the far-left woke agenda when it comes to biological boys competing against biological girls in sports.
Look at me. I'm
something
a
that,
construction
again, is
man
a
now.
Democrat thing, definitely not a black thing, okay? And also on top of that, she supports open borders, right? Which also negatively impacts black people as well, okay? Because black people, specifically black men, have to compete with these illegal immigrants for jobs, in which she not only supports open borders, but she also goes out of her way to try to help illegal immigrant criminals that actually committed crimes. Again, the people that are affected the most by the illegal immigrants and the crimes are the so-called black and brown people that she claims she cares about so much. But apparently she cares about the illegal immigrants more than her constituents.
Cremation, I believe is what you called it. And so can you define for us what that is? And then Attorney Mata, I'm coming to you next. I'm sure you knew that was coming. So
Yeah, so I mean, I think we immigration lawyers call it crimmigration because a lot of our like clients have criminal history. So what we like to do is we like to obtain green cards for clients and also get them out of removal proceedings. And a lot of that has to do with whether they have a criminal history. So my firm, they're very nerdy and interested in crimmigration because we like to see how we can get the government to forgive their criminal past so that they can get a green card. So immigration is pretty cool because it is very gray, not so black and white when it comes to criminal history. Like more often than not, they can forgive it. So when it comes to forgiving a criminal purpose through or criminal past through like a waiver, It's really cool when you get that forgiven by the government, because then you can still get a green card, you can still naturalize, you can still fight your deportation case, basically.
Yeah, I love that. To be clear, undocumented folk contribute approximately $100 billion in taxes. They pay into Social Security and they don't get to draw down on it. So stop, again, allowing them to divide us and to demonize them. It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. It's not a criminal. It's a crime. It's not a crime, which is why they're so frustrated, because they really want our local law enforcement to go out and round up people when they could be looking out for the murderers and the sexual abusers as well as the robbers. They want them to go and round people up on civil accusations. And so long as we live in a capitalist society, there's always going to be someone or a group of people that will do work that some of the rest of y'all don't want to do. These are the people that are really making us great in this country. And as they have decided to go after immigrants...
Can you get my stuff, bud? What's up? No. Move. Come on, get on my stuff. Go. Go.
There are obviously jobs that they want us to go back to, such as work in the field, all right? Those people come into our country, they work the field.
I cannot talk with this in my mouth. It's making me gag.
And clearly, he is
Mouth guard in my mouth making me gag. I'm such a weak fucking stuff.
So I thought it to be pretty fascinating how Jasmine Crockett basically tried to claim that Byron Donalds, I guess he's told what to say or what to do by the GOP. He said, yes, master, right? But yet, every single position that Jasmine Crockett has is a far left position of the Democrat Party. Right? Like, what position?
I can't believe how the palate of my mouth feels different. You know when you put like rubber bands on your teeth as a kid because you're like, I want braces, like that, but you can feel it actually like moving your teeth a little. It's like tender. Dude, that's crazy. If it moves my teeth from being like my bottom teeth go this way and my top teeth, right? Yeah, my top teeth go this way and my bottom teeth go this way, and I bite my cheeks so bad. So if this can help stop that, it will be so cool. Hit this first.
She's pushing it on folks. Almost as if the Democrat Party told her to, hey, get black people on board.
Were you guys watching my? Were any of you guys watching my Bigo stream last night?
Let me tell you something. Y'all need to find some people that actually care about their constituents. And honestly, whenever y'all are ready to work, we on this side of the aisle have always been ready to do what is right by the American people. Instead, what you can continue to
Look what I made last night.
Is go after the most vulnerable in our country. The fact that you just sat up there and somehow figured out how to tie trans folk to your argument makes no sense to me. But let me tell you something. Trans people ain't going nowhere. Just like when the racists wanted to make sure that black people somehow were going to be dismissed in this country. We ain't left either. And I'll yield.
Would you yield back?
I'll yield to them. The trans kids that want to play the sports. Lord have mercy, that is the biggest issue that we had. Since when? Since when? Find the little trans child that is ruining your life. Like, I mean, I'm just like...
Yeah, so I'm just saying, it sounds to me like Jasmine Crockett is the one that's taking the orders from higher ups and saying, yes, master, I'm going to come out here and say whatever you want me to say. Because I guarantee you, some of these issues, some of these things that she's supporting are not popular with the black community. And they're not popular with the rest of the country, and they're probably not popular with her constituents, okay? But she's out here supported anyways. So, hey, I'm just saying, I think she's the one that has a massa, right? But with that being said, funny video here. Jasmine Crockett actually got prank called on Steve Harvey's show, and she almost lost her mind, right? Over the fact that this guy was prank calling her over some of the comments that she's been making, right? The outlandish comments that she's been making, and how that could be affecting people. And she got real defensive about this. It's kind of funny. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
Hello, I'm trying to reach Jasmine. Jasmine Crockett?
Yeah, who is this?
This is Terrence. I'm a president over here at OBB out of the Dallas chapter.
What is OBB? How did you get my number?
Okay, I got your number from Benjamin Crump. He gave me your number. And OBB is Our Black Businesses. I've met you before. Didn't you work at Lee Merritt's office for a while? Civil rights attorney?
We worked together for a second. Yeah, we worked together for a second, yeah.
Oh.
I'm nervous. I feel like we're gonna cut all of my hair off today. Bye-bye, hair. It's time for Buzzy.
footage for the rest of this row, but turn your work. We're going to do one more row of just triple crochets. So to get started with that, chain up 4, turn your work. Since this chain 4 counts as a triple crochet, you're going to skip that first stitch and
I'm nervous. I feel like we're gonna cut all of my hair off today. Bye bye, hair. It's time for Buzzy. Hello, everyone. I'm back from tour. Can you believe it? It's been a long month for me. Obviously, I had the time of my life touring Paris, London, Manchester, Bristol, Czech Republic, Poland, and even Bratislava. I don't know what my life is right now. I'm kind of depressed. I'm also happy that it's over just because it was so stressful, but mostly I'm depressed. The villain of your dreams era is officially over. But that means I'm back here. This means something, this white background. I'm feeling kind of weird because there's somebody standing, just like waiting to be activated. I'm not gonna talk too much about the tour for everyone who does not give a fuck about it. Don't worry, chill your eggs. We're gonna do something else today that I literally don't think I've done for a year, maybe even. Welcome to the Shabby Shalom! This is very exciting because I think the last time I did the Shabby Shalom, I think it was the CD Haare actually. I think that was last year in like January, February.
I don't even remember anymore.
Me neither. There's a reason why we are all here, and it is not this hair. It is what is underneath this hair. And I know that I haven't shown you what is underneath there for a long time because
Have you worn wigs?
I've been wearing wigs a lot because I actually don't like what's underneath. Let's just be completely transparent and honest here. My hair is a mess. I've just been letting it grow. But now that I'm like almost at this length where you could technically do something with it again, I'm gonna do something with it again for sure. For sure. I couldn't do this alone, could I? I have my very good friend and hairdresser with me today. Please show yourself, Nikola Vukovic.
I feel like I'm entering a stage.
You are all probably familiar with him because he's been doing my hair since quite a long time now.
It's been a while. It's crazy.
We know each other for
3 years? Oh my god, that's crazy.
I'm just very grateful and happy that I found such a good hairdresser and friend like him. It's just difficult in Berlin. Taco. It's difficult in general to find someone who understands you, who understands this situation right here. The Shabby Shalom is quite a special scenery. Not everybody wants to be here. I don't understand, right? It's so right here.
I love it.
We love it
I'm
so much.
literally on my knees.
It's his day off, and I love that he chose to still do hair on his day off just for me and you. It's just so nice.
Such a good person.
You are, you are. I think we are ready to reveal what's underneath my real hair. Do you want to snatch me?
I do want to snatch you.
It's your moment. Wait, actually, it looks good. Sleep back. We switched.
A little Naomi moment.
This is it, guys. Can you believe this is what I've been walking around with for the past months? It's rough, especially with this denim jacket I've got going on. I really look kind of punk. I'm ashamed of this. Very honest and vulnerable right now. This is my natural hair color up here. This is probably the most natural that I will ever look in my life, which doesn't mean that it looks good. It's just at this length where I was thinking maybe we could do something with it. Dyeing, bleaching, cutting. Obviously we can't cut off inches, but that's why I invited Nick. There must be something to save this hair. Right? What can we technically do with this?
It depends on where you want to go with it, I would say.
I'm going to Japan.
Oh. Do you want to grow it out into a certain form?
I mean, yeah, that was my original plan, to just grow it and not do anything with it, but I forgot that I look like shit. I'm thinking like maybe we can do like just a tiny little cut that makes it look more on purpose and it's not just growing out, you know what I mean? Like maybe like a mullet vibe.
We can shorten it or not, but I would definitely like check the bangs because now it's just like your natural state, your natural hairline just grown out.
But let's not cut off the inches, okay?
Okay.
Maybe the sides?
Gonna cut off the I know Naomi hates it, but I don't hate the color. I don't hate everything.
Everybody tells me it looks good, and I'm the only person who has a problem with it. Obviously, you don't hate it because you don't have to wear it. It's me that is wearing this hair.
Dramatically turn to the side looking the same.
Fuck this ugly ass hair. You at least have a beautiful blonde going on. Like, mine's just not blonde. And if I'm not completely blonde like this, I also don't feel like myself. So I think that's just an issue I have within me.
Because you're a natural platinum blonde. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. First we cut.
First we bleach.
Then you do some magic with the scissors.
On camera.
Scissor me, honey.
Scissor sisters.
But I don't feel like dancing, no, so no dancing today. Don't feel like dancing, dancing. First we're gonna bleach so I at least feel like myself again, and maybe that's also giving me a different vibe. Everything else that comes after, I haven't planned. We're just gonna take it as we go. We're just gonna all let it come to us, find some inspiration in the air, and I'm hoping at the end that I look like I have hair that's on purpose and cute. So let's get bleaching! I missed it so much.
Have you ever tried this one?
That's
That's not me espresso. Creamier than I thought.
Everybody, we got changed. Nick has my shirt on now. I have my shirt on now. I think we all have my shirt on. I'm ready to party. I've worn 10 different wigs on 10 different days for just 2 hours. Always 2 layers of glue, sewing it on in the back. My wig girlies and boys, they know how annoying it is to get wig glue off of your head and hair. So that was always horrible for my hair and head, so everything on my head is super sensitive. I'm really not in the best state to have my hair bleached right now, so please touch me with your softest fingers.
That's just a quick little rude touch. Not dramatic at all. This is how short your hair was when we last dyed it.
But to be honest, I think I did have roots like this. It just didn't look that much because usually I had longer hair on the other side. No. But I don't feel like dancing, no sir, no dancing today. Are you dancing right now?
Yeah.
Oh. Unfortunately, Nick does not have his scalp protectant, so all we can rely on is
prayers.
Protecting angels in the sky.
Are you ready for the first stroke of the brush?
Yeah, I think so. 3, 2, 1, go.
So pop off, I guess.
Ow.
Sorry.
I'm gonna help you doing your job. It's been 8 months since I shaved my hair off, and this is my hair growth. Excuse me? I can't believe it that I actually shave my hair off still to this day. When I see pictures or videos of me with a buzz cut, I'm like, who is this? Like with the buzz cut, it was definitely not very Naomi-like and something that I'd never do. I mean, technically, this is also why I wrote Ugly. I mean, I didn't write the song Ugly to shave my hair off. Ugly is just a reminder that it's okay not to be perfect and that I want to face my fears of not being perfect. Obviously, in this time of day with social media and all these influencers, Botox here, Botox there, we all want to be perfect. I think this is also what held me back for so long shaving my hair, because I was scared that it's gonna look ugly. That's why I wrote Ugly, to
why would you
not
want to
be
look
afraid of being
like the
ugly
same
anymore,
as
even though it wasn't
everybody
even
else?
ugly, you know what I mean? Wow, why am I getting so much into the topic right now? Even if it was tough and annoying at some points, like especially with the growing out, I'm still so
the light up ones, the way the plastic feels, I don't like it. I wanted to like them so fucking bad because I can't fucking see and I need as much light as possible. Obviously, like I wear a hat with a light on and stuff. But I don't know. It was just something. It was making my like autism flare up or whatever. The feel of the metal or the plastic on the fabric. It was the worst when I would use cotton, but it wasn't so bad when I used acrylic. But I primarily like to work with cotton. So I tried so hard. I used them for like 4 days. I really wanted to like them, but they kind of made me like uncomfortable in my skin.
glad that I did it, and I can say that I did it once in my life because it definitely.
This is
made
gonna be
me
a dress,
much
by
stronger.
the
It
way.
made
I'm
me
making a
think
dress.
about beauty in a different way, and also made me think about myself in a different way. Because to me, it's always like Naomi equals hair. Naomi equals hair dyeing, hair change, crazy hair experiments. When it all was gone, it was like, oh my god, is Naomi now gone? Is my career now gone? Literally, would I build my whole career on like the hair thing? What happens now, there was definitely way more behind it than just the fear of looking ugly. You know, it's just what made me who I am on YouTube. Nowadays, you can see that I don't really do many shabby saloons or hair changes anymore. I just moved on. I'm just doing a lot of other stuff. I still like the hair changes. It's just not like my main content anymore. And obviously, I've also grown as a person, which means that I do not bleach my hair with bleach from the drugstore anymore. And also, I don't even do it myself anymore.
That's gross.
I don't know, I just wanted to take this moment right here to reflect on this because I haven't really talked about this on YouTube or like in general. It was quite personal to me, like this whole shaving my hair off situation. Everyone who saw the behind the scenes of my ugly music video shoot knows that because I cried my eyes out. Maybe some of you didn't even see that. Maybe some of you who are watching right now are like, wait, she shaved her hair. Well, if you haven't seen it, obviously go check out my music channel because there is a whole music video where I shaved my hair off and the behind the scenes. And obviously also there's gonna be the Europe tour behind the scenes making of. I don't know when. Obviously I have a lot of footage again. There's also a lot of stuff that happened on this tour that you probably did not see on Instagram or anywhere. We always tend to just want to show the good side, but there's always a lot of bad sides behind the good sides. So, yeah. Last tour, Vincent was at least with me, so he constantly put the camera in my face and I was forced to say something. This time it was so hard forcing myself to do that because I was always so stressed at the end of my nerves. I just got back to my roots and vlogged myself like the good old days. Wow, I just did such a monologue.
You did.
And I mean, a lot of people also asked me on tour, what's next? I wish I could tell you. A crazy big step now to move on from the villain of your dreams because she's been with me for so long, like even longer than when I published my album. Obviously she was already with me before that, grew with me, wrote the songs with me, and you know, this persona that I've created, she was just with me and gave me strength. I don't know, so what's next? The villain is gone. Who is coming now? Sorry.
Such a blessing doing her hair. Pretty bitch. Perfect little guess.
Moist remix.
Moist.
In a perfect little so don't put us in a room. Oh my god, guys, you need to understand. I took him to an 80s concert, K-pop. It was just an experience. Like, I was looking forward to seeing them live again for months, honestly. We were just like barking, screaming. The total vibe. Their creative director, they know what they're doing. Just the thought that they have to do this every concert. I would think the air is at least 10 times pregnant by now. If you're not into K-pop, this conversation is probably very unnecessary. But there's Mingi, who's like a rapper. Every time he had a moment, we were like...
Like, I didn't suspect a thing, and then it would turn around and it's just like...
It was a total vibe. And then afterwards, we also went back home here. We had a couple of drinks, listened to a whole lot of K-pop. Also went to a after show party, like a K-pop party. We were just like two people vibing our asses off, dancing like insane, crazy people. You can't be cringe at parties because that's exactly what parties are for, to just let everything out, have fun, have the best time. I don't care if you look stupid or goofy or whatever, just have a good time.
Let loose, make money, make purrs.
Soon we're also going to travel to Paris and we're going to see Stray Kids, right? I learned some Czech words when I was there. Like, I just wanted to say something like "Dobré díle." Damn it, right? I forgot it on stage though, and I was like, oh, fuck, I don't know the words that I wanted to say in Czech. Do you maybe know one? And this is one girl, probably like 12 or 13 years old, which literally means like, I'm so shocked. Mushy.
She's so relaxed about it. Mushy.
Hello, I'm an island boy.
Ready?
Yeah.
Crying in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, hello. She is coded. I can already feel my life coming back to me, even though this hurts like hell. But maybe that is exactly what I need. That is pain that I want to feel. We just gotta wait like 20 minutes now, and then we'll see how far we have developed. See you then. Oh my god, I look like Hella von Sinn now. But I love it! You need to explain to me exactly what you do, because I just want to keep my inches.
Are we one person now? I would shorten like the middle, because like this is not as long as the middle. So you don't have like a, shorten the sides probably accordingly. And the back we keep party.
And you think if we shorten the sides it will look good?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go.
Getting worse and worse. I really love that my hair is so blonde again. So I kind of don't want to make it too dark, but also I want like another change, because I think this right now is not enough for me. I send this to Nick, and obviously I don't have hair like her. I like the idea of the roots being red and then the ends being super blonde. We could technically make the roots less big. Then I also have this one, which I really love on her. But as I said, I'm not sure if I want to go dark, because I'm kind of glad to be so light. Then I also send you this. But I also wouldn't know how to apply it onto my hairstyle, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, it's giving denim hair. I like that.
We all know that you rock a blue, so...
Do you think you could do that? Why are you cutting down there? The no cutting zone? Yeah, well, answer me, Herbertson.
I'm obviously not cutting. Okay, girl, that's actually all that I would do.
I look like a different person.
It reminds me when we first cut your mullet.
I like it though.
Yeah, me too.
There's finally a cut in there again.
There's like a little bit length as well. If you want to go hardcore, you can do all of it to the back.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Ooh, no, give it back. Give it back to me. Well. Should we see what we can do color-wise now?
Yeah.
Because I think we definitely agreed on that I want to do a trend from 2018. Denim hair. Let's see what hair colors I have and if we can make it possible, because I kind of like it in the picture. This screen right here is now our inspo. This is what we're working with. We have a big selection of hair dyes. First round, we're going to do this denim-y blue turquoise kind of vibe. What did we agree on? Which colors now?
Nothing yet.
Nothing?
We'll find something.
Look, on my nail, it looks like a broccoli, but it's grapes. Wow!
Yum. We're in, mommy.
We're adding pine green from Crazy Color. We already added
I feel like I should decrease a little bit here.
We did it. Quite excited. I've never had a color like this in my head before. So we also decided that we're gonna do first the round of bluish, grayish thingy, and then afterwards do the black bits, because it's easier that way than do it all at once. Black blue in your area. I feel whole again. Meet me at the
apartment.
While Nick is applying the color, I want to do a little tier list from the tour looks that I had, just for fun, because I had 10 different tour looks, and me and Vincent, we put our whole pussy into it, mostly Vincent, because he DIY'd a lot of stuff, but everything.
Triple for the these chain 4s as triple crochets. Make sure that you are leaving your last triple crochet into that chain 4 space, as I just demonstrated here. That completes this row, and here is what your work should be looking like so far. It's looking super cute. So again, skip the first 2 stitches. Turn your work over. Skip the first 2 stitches and triple crochet into the 3rd stitch. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, triple crochet into the stitch after that. Repeat this pattern all along the bottom until you reach the end.
I knew I had to decrease.
Right now, I'm leaving my last chain space and triple crochet at the very end to finish off my row. Here is what my work looks like so far. Next, I'm just going to repeat these triple crochet rows and make sure that I get to 7 inches for my torso. So here's what that next row looks like once I was finished. And then one more row. Here's what it looked like once it was finished. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this now and see where we're at. Mine measured out to be 7 inches exactly. So next we're going to start working on the waist area. So my waist measured out to be 27 inches. So what I'm going to do is measure the width of the bottom of my dress so far and see how far out it stretches at the moment.
All right, this is where I need her to guide me. After this sits in your mouth for a while, your mouth like literally forms to the shape of this, so it like gets stuck in there. Like it's hard to get out after it's been in there for a while. I have divots on the insides of my cheeks from these little things here, but it's kind of nice because it really holds it in place. I can feel the roof of my mouth is different. And my bite feels different. Dude, that's crazy. It doesn't feel as weird to put my jaw and my teeth aligned. Usually it feels like I'm doing that kind of number. Ooh, my cranium just cracked. Did you hear that? When I move my jaw, something inside my head just cracked. Like, right in the middle there. Anyway. That was weird. It was like hair. Usually it feels a lot more protruded to do that. Is this gonna really move my fucking teeth out of the well so that I don't have my jaw backing up like this anymore? Oh my god, it's gonna be so nice. I love this thing. It feels good in my mouth. Oh, I have to eat. What the fuck's in my doors? Ow! Fucking blackberry bush is what it is. There's my little mitt. Yeah. Where's... Oh, let me get my milk. What did I sit on my thing? Money. Okay, chill, chill, chill. Hey, hey, oh, you're wet. Oh, I didn't get any blue cheese. Money, honey. Money, money, money. Stop. Hold on, I'll get you to your food. Hold on. The blue cheese is gone. Whatever shall I do? You're mean, Bean. Over here. Please don't step on my pan. No, please don't step on my pan. Oh my God, guys, please leave me alone. Money, get off my project. Money, please. You're all wet. And you're stepping all over my new project. Bro. Killing me, Smalls. I'm getting burnt out on working every day. It's too much. I love you. All right, you happy? Oh, here we go. Okay, there you go. Now you're getting what you want. She wants me to dry her off. Is that better? Yeah? Okay. All done. You gotta lick yourself now. You gotta finish up. There you go. Good job. She used to hate it when I would dry her off when she would come in from a rainy day. Until one day she realized what I was doing. And now she hates it, but she likes it. Your face is wet, babe. Sorry, I didn't do it the way you like. There you go. You keep rubbing your wet face on me, I'm gonna think you want your face dried. Just saying. She really likes it. Weirdo. You want me to make you an outfit? Make you a cute little sweater? Is that what you want? You want me to make you a cute sweater? Hmm? Look at that cute girl. Look at that pretty girl. She seems to be tolerating that pretty well, huh? It's a good sign. She likes being under the blanket when I'm sleeping. She was cuddling with me this morning under the blanket. She woke me up by dropping one of my yarns on my face. So I opened the blanket up and let her in. I thought she hit me in the face until I woke up this morning and saw the yarn next to me. And then I was like, yeah, that is what hit me. Blue cheese and French fries. It goes together so good. It's just a real testimony to how well potatoes and milk products go together. Like really any combination. Any way you could do it. Milk and dairy, or I mean, potatoes and dairy. It's gonna be good. You know? Think about the first person who ever discovered a potato. Think about the first person who ever tried mashed potatoes. Man, oh man. I really like croquettes, but I don't like ham. So I don't like croquetas. Which sucks because they are, like, in theory, so good. But it's just too hammy. Alright, you don't want macaroni? Gimme a man after midnight. Someone's gonna help me take that shadows away. They gave me so many fucking tots. Which is weird because, like, I asked for a lot of French fries and they didn't give me very much. And then they gave me very little sweet potato fries was the last time I had that. But they fucking loaded up on fucking tater tots. Yeah, Christine. It's called a Revive. It's for cranial stacking. It's not just to help your jaw for your jaw. It's to help every single part of your body and your face and your head. It can help a lot with like sinus issues, with old age. It can help with like brain fog, stuff like that. There's all kinds of things that this shit helps with. So we'll see. Oh, so cold. I only just started liking milk, like, I don't know, like 2 years ago. I never liked the taste of milk. When I was a kid, I could drink milk if I was eating pancakes. I saw that commercial where the guy is in the diner and he's eating the pancakes and he drinks the milk from the other guy's cup and like he like, I guess he puts ice in it or something. I can't really remember the whole commercial. But I remember watching that commercial. I could literally taste the pancakes and milk together, and it made it so that like now to this day, like I could only drink milk if it had ice in it before, because it had to be very cold. But now my refrigerator gets my milk the cold temperature that I like. I like to have milk at like almost freezing temperatures. That's the only way that I can drink it. If it's any warmer than that, I'm not really gonna do it. So I have to drink it fast before it gets too warm, or I won't drink it. But that really goes the same for any of my drinks. Like if I drink soda or even a beer or something, I have to drink it before it gets warm, or I will not drink it. It gets gross. Water is the only thing that tastes better when it's warm. Guys, I had someone reach out to me and ask to sponsor my YouTube channel. I can't believe I tell you this. I'm not going to give you too many details or any details because I don't want the haters to try to go ahead of me and ruin it. I'm going to set it up first, but dude, it's pretty cool. And it is a company that I am aware of, and it is a company that I've tried. Well, I've been, I guess, not necessarily the one who tried it. I haven't owned one myself, but I know someone who owns one. So it's pretty cool. I thought I was on Bigo. I had to like hide my fucking smoke. I'm smoking. All right. Does she do 4 or 5 in that one?
Keep these triple space and triple. Turn your work. That completes this row, and here is what your work should be looking like so far. It's looking super cute. So next we're going to start repeating our pattern with these chain spaces, and then after that we're going to do 2 more rows of just triple crochet. So again, chain 5.
5, that's right.
That counts as a triple crochet chain space.
Blue in your area. I feel whole again. Meet me at the
apartment.
While Nick is applying the color, I want to do a little tier list from the tour looks that I had, just for fun, because I had 10 different tour looks, and me and Vincent, we put a whole pussy into it, mostly Vincent, because he DIY'd a lot of stuff, but everything was styled by the both of us, so I think we should make a little tier list. It was cute, but horrible to perform. Slayed the stage. Bombastic and ate pussy. Vincent? Kitty patootie. Oh, this is giving it. Okay, Vincent is here now. We can do my tour look tier list. Paris. Actually, you know this. This is the top that I tried like 2 videos ago. And then Vincent and I, we actually managed to make it possible to wear on stage, even though I was very scared that it's gonna move, because obviously there's not a lot that's just holding everything in place. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna put it into very cute but horrible to perform in. I constantly had in mind that what if this slips, because I was also sweating a lot, so the glue of the boomba just got looser and looser. So that was what I was most scared about for this outfit, but it was definitely very cute.
What is a boomba?
Next one is the London look, which is a bit difficult because I only have a selfie. Vincent hated that outfit. It was like an Amelia SLUT bodysuit, very see-through. Afterwards, I'm also not the biggest fan of this because I didn't like the underwear that I chose with this. You can't see it in this picture, but it was just not very flattering. Cute for the moment. Next, we have Manchester, which is this latex short mini dress and these bubbly latex sleeves. I love that one, but honestly, that was also horrible to perform in because it was all latex and I could just feel all the sweat running down my legs, and I could even feel how my sweat just like flew into the audience, like on the people. It was just horrible. Do you agree?
No, I thought it was wow.
Okay, then we're gonna put it in Wow. Bristol, which is this all over bodysuit, which Vincent also bedazzled. Also put a bikini underneath. I think I would personally do just cute for the moment. It's just a bodysuit. It's cute. It's doable. I liked it. I liked it with the bling bling.
I think a little better because I really liked the hair.
Okay, then you say very cute but horrible to perform in.
I hate your ranking.
Warsaw. This one which Vincent made, like he didn't make the dress, but he put all of the charms on it. He made like the belt and everything. I think for me this one goes bombastic and ate pussy. Next we have Wroclaw, which is this pink bedazzled bodysuit. This one I ordered off of Etsy like this, and we kind of just styled it with different kinds of patterns. Like we have this bodysuit, underneath is another pair of tights, then I put a pair of tights on my arms. I love the hair. It's giving so much like Brad stole.
She's making us skip to.
And here it spaces, and then after
So we skip
turn
to
your
the
work
whole thing.
over. Skip the first 2 stitches and triple crochet into the 3rd stitch. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, triple crochet into the stitch after that.
Okay, no.
Bombastic and ate pussy. Next we have Wroclaw, which is this pink bedazzled bodysuit. This one I ordered off of Etsy like this, and we kind of just styled it with different kinds of patterns. Like we have this bodysuit, underneath is another pair of tights, then I put a pair of tights on my arms. I love the hair. It's giving so much like Brad stole. To me personally, this one also goes to bombastic and ate pussy because I also felt super confident in it. Rhinestones just level up every stage outfit. We have Gdansk, which is this warrior princess, which was, I would say, definitely a most DIY cosplay kind of look. Vincent made these pieces that are laying on my shoulders. We also like tied a lot of stuff together so it wouldn't slide down. To me, though, that was like cute for the moment. I didn't feel super confident in it. Also, it stabbed my body constantly. This is the aftermath. We have this armor top by Amare Corset, which is a designer from Warsaw. And then Vincent and I, we tried to style this one at home and see what's good with it. If you see my vlog, then you will see that we actually had to customize.
What is the best movie musical of all
I can't
time?
listen to this one.
It's been nearly a month since we last saw Luigi Mangione in court. The man
I think
accused
I
of
listened to this
stalking.
already. Hiccups and burps.
Welcome back to the channel again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for coming over now. I know a while back, I reacted to a video on the Art of Dialogue channel with Gene Hill, and they were talking about Aaron Hall and Diddy were being accused by a woman for basically taking turns doing you know what. Got this article here from Vibe. Aaron Hall reportedly missing after being named in a Diddy lawsuit. I think that video I reacted to was over a year ago. Now, it says Lisa Gardner and her attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been trying to serve Hall since November 2023. So they saying they don't know where he's at. Let me see. Again, bear with me with my reading, just in case there's certain words in here that I can't say.
Dude, my teeth feel so clean and so
Aaron
good.
Hall is reportedly missing in action, according to Lisa Gardner and her attorney, Tyrone Blackburn.
The timeline's giving me nothing to go with here.
And Sean Diddy Combs of SA in a lawsuit.
Those are all things that I just put in my queue, so why are you showing them to me again?
The lawsuit was in 2023. Okay. Blackburn is now requesting to serve him through newspaper notices in Georgia and California after being unable to track him down successfully. I believe that service by publication is now the only remaining option to provide notice of this lawsuit to Mr. Hall. We have effectively exhausted all reasonable methods of locating him. I am unaware of any additional addresses, locations, or persons we could rely on to get the summons directly to Hall. Therefore, publication.
It's August 1st, 2018. I get a call from one of my investigators. Said we had a shooting victim on Sunnybrook Drive and it didn't look good.
County 911, where's your emergency? Yes, ma'am. I actually, my gun was tapered and I'm so sorry. I just got my boyfriend in the night. I'm so sorry.
We actually had the perpetrator admitting to shooting the victim on the 911 call before we even arrived at the scene. Miss Higdon told us she did it.
Please bring someone right now. I am there on the way. Look at me, Steven. Look at me. Look at me, Steven.
I'm Lieutenant Chris Wilson. I was the first investigator to arrive on scene.
What kind of gun was it? It was a Glock 43. I was just grabbing it. I did not know there was one of those cameras. I was just grabbing it to bring it to our bed.
Basically, we had a young man down, not responsive, and also a young woman who was frantic, very emotional. She was just pleading for help.
I can't watch this one. Too much horrific screeching. I can't do it. Make me sad.
I have lived 44 years with his face etched in my brain. It was everything that you pray to God never happens to anyone. For me, it's really tough. I'm struggling. I'm struggling to do the interview at all. We were at our grandparents' house, and Keith, our first cousin, came over, asked us if we would come to his house to help him clean. So we went to his house, and when we were done, he needed gas. So we stopped at the 7-Eleven, and as we pulled up, there was a man standing there. He said, "Well, can you give me a ride?" Instantly, we knew something wasn't right, but Keith told him he would give him a ride. I think we just cut off circulation in each other's hands. We were squeezing our hands so tight because you just have a gut feeling that this is not good. He was telling us the directions on where to go, which took us to Little California Road. He told us to get out of the car. He opens the trunk, and he puts Keith in the trunk. At that point, he told us to take off our clothes.
God, why does it always have to be like raped? I don't want to hear about rape.
Hypocrisy going on, I gotta say, from being somebody who's a little bit unique, front row seat to some.
Really? Like what? Like what do you see?
Well, it's really progressive to cast literally no offense to anything, but I was a little taken back by the they're very proud to cast a Latino actress as Snow White.
Yeah.
But you're still telling the story of Snow White,
yeah.
and Seven Dwarfs.
Sure.
Take a step back and look at what you're doing there.
Yeah.
I know. That makes no sense to me.
But so
you're progressive in one way, but you're still making that backward story of seven dwarves living in a cave. What the are you doing, man? Have I done nothing to advance the cause from my soapbox? I guess I'm not loud enough. I don't know what studio that is, but they were so proud of that, and all love and respect to the actress and to the people who thought they were doing the right thing. But I'm just like, what are you doing?
So that right there was a clip of Peter Dinklage, probably the most successful dwarf actor or little person actor, I forget which is the appropriate term, currently working in Hollywood right now, talking about how he's oh so offended by the idea of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs being remade into a live-action movie with little people playing said Seven Dwarfs. Now, of course, this caused the Disney Corporation, because they were in the era of wokeness, to pull back on that idea and end up deciding that they were not going to have dwarf actors play said Seven Dwarfs, and that is when we started to get the image of what are known in the current movie as the Seven Bandits, which is a mishmash of different races and different cultures and one little person in this new team up for the live-action Disney movie, which of course caused a lot of people to say, I mean, come on, what are we even talking about? what are we even doing, and ended up angering the dwarf community, the little person community, because they had 7 potential roles in a big budget Disney movie that were taken away from them, all because Peter Dinklage declared himself the king of the dwarfs and said it was inappropriate for them to be in said movie. Well, now there's a lawsuit over this, so we're going to talk about this. We're going to discuss what a disaster this Snow White movie is, but before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Oh, give me the money. Give me the money. Okay? I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
So right off the top, I think it is incredibly important for me to state my position about all of these live-action reboots of the classic Disney animated movies, which is as followed. Animation is a beautiful art form. Animation is timeless. It is actually offensive on its own for them to remake these animated movies in live action. So everything we hear about casting, race swapping, and all those other additional things, changing the storyline and whatnot, to me, those are secondary issues with the movies, because in reality, these movies should not exist. In my opinion, if you want to make a new Snow White where you race swap everybody, where you end up having completely different songs, where you have a Snow White be the leader of a communist revolution, where you replace the prince in said movie with an innocent Beba Angel Aladdin who's stealing bread, you are free to do so, because again, these stories are based on fairy tales. But when you reboot an animated classic, first of all, you shouldn't do it, but the idea that you're then going to take the extra step and say we are so much better than those people who made the animated classic, we have to fix the politics of the animated classic to meet modern times and modern desires, I think you've totally lost the plot. And that has been basically the tone and tenor of this entire production from day one. Obviously, you have the casting of Rachel Zegler, which, to be fair, by the way, everybody acknowledges that this girl can sing, and when you put her in the Snow White costume, she actually reasonably resembles the animated character. But of course, throughout all of her different interviews, at least in the beginning of this production, all she did was complain about how bad and how outdated and how sexist the original Snow White was. And this infamous clip right here is the perfect example of that.
I know that you've told me before that your version of Snow White is different, and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that?
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that this time.
So no prince, or a different kind of prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story, just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie. Andrew Burnap, great dude. It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. But it's one of those things. It's an inner journey that she goes on to find her true self, and she meets a lot of people along the way that make the journey really incredible.
Now look, I'm not gonna lie to you guys out there in the audience, that weird clip is actually one of my favorite clips of all time. I actually find it to be hilarious, not even in an ironic way, but the fact is, the rest of these interviews on the red carpet where they're talking about how bad Snow White is, how you're gonna cut the prince's scenes, because, oh, we don't need no man in modern politics and whatnot, and it's just outdated to have a man and a woman fall in love together, a man assisting a woman and rescuing her. Oh my god, that's so bad, that's so horrible. Non-consensual kiss to passed out woman, what a terrible idea. All of that nonsense, again, just flies in the face of the original, which, by the way, is a foundational, in fact, the foundational movie for the Disney Corporation, to which they are trying to reboot. Again, this new movie is not a modern interpretation of Snow White based on a new script like we've seen with Snow White and the Huntsman and all these other different variations where they turn these into action movies or whatever. It is supposed to be a reboot in live action of the animated movie, and a crucial component of said animated movie was the 7 dwarfs. In fact, they are arguably the heroes of the story. They get incredible character development throughout the course of the story, and of course, they decided to remove it because, as we said in the open, Peter Dinklage was very, very upset that 7 dwarf actors not named Peter Dinklage could possibly get any kind of shine, any kind of credibility, and we ended up with this woke bastardization of these 7 bandits who apparently are still in the movie, again, to be a racially ambiguous group of people that are fighting against the Queen in order to have the communist revolution. No, I'm not kidding about this. This seems to be the actual direction that the actual film went through. The princess is leading a communist revolution against the bourgeoisie because that's what we need in our modern ideals of whatever is good and valuable and whatnot. And again, this is all led to be a total disaster.
Who hates when I win? The winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
In addition to that, after the October 7th attacks, you ended up having a situation where Gal Gadot, being an Israeli citizen, was obviously supportive of her home country. Rachel Zegler, of course, is pro-Palestinian. So we end up with both sides of the political spectrum deciding that they want to boycott this movie. They decided that they don't want to go see it. And in addition to the fact that you alienated the core group of fans, you also have this political fiasco in the middle of your film because, of course, the actors can't just stay out of it. Now, because of all of these different various factors, Snow White, the modern-day reboot of this particular animated classic, has become a flop of epic proportions. And by the way, it was made all the more worse due to the woke pandering because they removed the dwarfs because Peter Dinklage was, of course, offended. Then they decided, based on the backlash to the trailers and everything related to the movie, that they were going to add them back in, but they couldn't actually have dwarf actors play those characters, so they end up giving us this CGI monstrosity of dwarves throughout the course of this particular film, where they're, again, computer animated to look like the animated characters, which of course makes the movie even more weird because you have an actual dwarf actor in the 7 bandits, so you have 2 sets of dwarfs, the racially ambiguous mismatch of different people, including 1 dwarf and 1 girl. Then you have the original 7 dwarfs from the animated movie that are also in the movie very briefly, that are CGI, and it's just confusing from top to bottom, if we're being perfectly honest. And obviously, this confusion, this total misdirection, all the different various reshoots that they had to do in order to try to pander to the fans that Rachel Zegler ended up losing for this movie, cost big money. The budget of this project ballooned to $300 million, and if you guys know anything about Hollywood math, they spend equivalent to the production budget on the marketing of said film. So in order to break even, this needs to make $500 to, again, $600 million worldwide, and that is just breaking even. And of course, it is underperforming at the box office. They originally projected an opening weekend of about $50 million. It ended up making something like $48 million, which is big money to us normal people, but if you look at the trajectory of where this film needs to go, it's obviously not going to make it there. Again, a comparison of another Disney property, Captain America, the new one, the 4th one, which I believe is called Brave New World, starring Anthony Mackie, is considered not doing that well at the box office when it opened up at $97 million. So if you end up having a production budget in and around where both of these movies were, and $100 million in an opening weekend is not enough for you to be on track to even break even on the film, obviously $50 million is not going to be there either. But what makes this even more interesting is now the Dwarf Actors Association, or a bunch of dwarf actors, maybe I just made up an organization out of thin air right there, are suing Disney because essentially they crafted these CGI dwarf characters and they allowed anybody to be able to play said CGI dwarf characters except for actual literal dwarfs, because again, it would be offensive for you to have them in these particular roles. Headline: it's off to court we go. Disney faces discrimination lawsuit over Snow White snub of little people actors who were replaced by cartoons in woke live-action remake. The Little People stars of Snow White are planning a class action lawsuit against Disney for replacing them with cartoons. A top U.S. lawyer has been appointed and is expected to file a claim against the studio alleging discrimination. It is the latest headache for the company over this £215 million live-action remake. We're using pounds instead of dollars in this because it's a Daily Mail UK article. And according to the rest of this article, it says last week it was revealed that Little People actors were planning a rally outside Disney Studios in California to protest over its use of CGI to portray the dwarfs. Actress Allie Chapman, age 50, who is 3 foot 8 inches tall, said, quote, 7 talented Little People actors could have played those roles in the live-action remake, and yet they chose to use cartoons. It
The
is an
mental
insult and it's
picture
discriminatory. Now,
of
this, of
them
course, is a very interesting
boycotting
case, in
or
my opinion,
picketing
for a
outside
number
of
of reasons.
Disney.
First and foremost, if Little People are able to sue over their replacement with CGI characters, does that then mean that other people, other groups are able to sue based on race swaps, or basically essentially denying you the ability to even try out for a specific role due to the fact that they find it offensive or more progressive in order to recast said characters? And a perfect example of this would be the musical Hamilton, that deliberately did not cast any white actors in order to play America's founding fathers, as a part of the shtick of that musical was that everybody needed to be played by black and browns. Now, that being said, I actually don't think that this is a form of discrimination in that particular instance. Well, it is a form of discrimination, but is it a form of illegal discrimination? Because the idea is, if you are a creative and you're trying to make something creative, you should be able to employ anybody that you want. However, the dwarf issue is actually entirely more interesting than that, because essentially these CGI dwarfs and the actors that play them behind the scenes could only be non-dwarfs in order to avoid being offensive. So quite literally, you have the Disney Corporation, who had 7 potential roles for people with this specific medical condition, and they exclude everyone with said medical condition while allowing anyone and everyone in order to play them. And a perfect example of this intent and desire is, of course, the 7 bandits that were in the movie, which they allowed one of them to be a dwarf, but obviously they were going in that direction that they did not want to have the majority of those roles, again, the roles of the 7 dwarves, played by the 7 dwarves, and that ended up extending with the CGI, in which they ended up replacing them with cartoons. Now, obviously, I think when you stretch this whole lawsuit out, what's going to end up prevailing is the First Amendment, that they have the artistic license or creativity in order to not have dwarf actors in these particular roles. However, California law would probably prohibit you from banning black people or Asian people or any kind of acting group from a role just as a whole category from even being able to audition, and it appears like that is what would be applied here. So maybe, just maybe, they could get a small victory or maybe a small settlement, because honestly, this movie has been a PR nightmare from the jump, and it's only going to get worse if Disney as a corporation ends up crushing this class of dwarf actors in this particular lawsuit. But again, it goes to show you how you could be so woke, how you could be so anti-discrimination, that you end up on the complete other side of this particular issue. Again, people will call this the horseshoe theory. When you go so far left, you end up on the right. And the thing is, it's hard to argue that this isn't the perfect example of that, because what you have right here is Disney essentially saying everyone and anyone can play these dwarfs. We'll CGI these dwarfs to make them cartoons, but behind the scenes, they have to be regular, normal, ordinary people, because it's so gosh darn offensive for us to have these little people in these particular roles. And again, people have pointed out that they also made the dwarfs in this particular movie as tall as, if not taller, or close to the height of Rachel Zegler, so they can't even be short, which is just weird and creepy. People have also pointed out that they look horrific, like the stuff of nightmares, which I am tempted to agree with. But the fact is, Disney, in order to placate Peter Dinklage, the king of the dwarfs in Hollywood, has essentially made a rule that they will no longer cast dwarfs in dwarf roles, even though it would be a great opportunity for them, thus discriminating against them in order to pander to them because they don't want to offend them. Again, it's absolute madness from top to bottom, and when you add that in with all the other things related to this Snow White reboot, you just kind of have to laugh at them for bungling it this badly. Now, of course, the core position, the true position, the factual position that you guys must take, and I want to impart on all of you, Is the live-action reboot the one-to-one recreation of a Disney classic? In and of itself is offensive. It is garbage. It is nonsensical. It presupposes that live action is somehow superior to animation as an art form, which in reality the opposite is true, because the animation, how these characters are drawn, how you can set the mood, the unrealistic realism of that art form is what ends up making it so beautiful. Again, we've seen this a million times with live action anime reboots. They never capture the essence of the story because the animation style is a part of communicating said story. So that's the position that I hope people really get on board with. But all these other things that they do, the fact that these writers, again, in modern times, can look back on a classic that has stood the test of time with spoiled brat actors also reiterating these same points and say, no, the politics in that movie is bad. That movie is just so unmodernized and whatnot. We know so much better, makes it significantly worse. But of course, I'm going to leave this up to all of you out there in the audience. What do you think about the Snow White disaster overall? What do you think about the little people suing Disney over the discrimination? Do you think it's a valid discrimination claim, or do you think that the courts will somehow figure a way to side with the Disney Corporation, or will Disney settle? All your thoughts down in the comments below, and as per usual,
Getting
if you like the video, show my video a
tired.
like, subscribe for more content, follow me on the social medias, support me via support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about Disney really getting in a little bit of big trouble. Till next time.
Wow, we're hearing that these strapping, strong Western males are actually going to be doing their part and volunteering to go fight in Ukraine. No, they're not going to do that. They're just going to tell other people to do it, while they, of course, virtue signal that you and all the other poor people must sacrifice their lives for, of course, their vanity. As now we have a lot of crazy, insane, shocking developments coming from the Russian-Ukraine conflict, as it looks like the Russians have now started to use a new technique that is making the biggest difference in this conflict. All of this is there are still talks about a potential limousine attack against Vladimir Putin, as Donald Trump came out and had some very tough words for Vladimir Putin publicly. All of this is there's a bigger conflict shaping up right now in the Middle East with more tough talk against the country of Iran. Let's just get into it right now, as I think the video that I played in the beginning of this broadcast really does highlight the kind of folly of Western man. As right now the British Army is playing commercials showing soldiers taking a break, turning off their radios, stopping their movements to allow someone to pray, as their recruitment numbers very low. You look at American recruitment military numbers, very low. You look at the military males that are incapable of passing any kind of physicals. Yeah, that's worrying here, specifically with the way that this situation is developing. My source is coming to me and saying, yeah, there's a major breakdown of communications. The peace talks have now gone to a very low point. I was told specifically, Luke, prepare. That's just what I heard. All of this, as just a couple hours ago, we got more crazy, sensationalistic news that Putin's car fleet limo was blown up in a huge blast. As allegedly there are also reports of Putin searching his security detail. What really is going on here? Well, it's kind of difficult to tell here, as of course this is the video footage that we got here, and I have my own particular questions about this, but automatically a lot of people are going on and saying, hey, Zelensky 3 days ago said that Vladimir Putin's not going to be alive for very long. Zelensky was talking about how he was old and he was not probably gonna, make it for that much longer. Again, you say that about Biden, okay. Putin, though, I don't know. It doesn't look that way, especially with the marathon press conferences he holds, the conversations he holds, and the way he kind of presents himself to the world comparatively to other older elders of our diplomatic corps here. But again, a lot of people are coming out and saying, oh my God, the United States, the CIA tried to assassinate Putin. And there was a previous coup d'etat attempt that was pretty serious, specifically with Yevgeny Prigozhin of Wagner, who within 24 hours was able to get a significant portion of the Russian military and the mercenary base of it to position themselves in a way to oust Putin. That, of course, never happened, and then Yevgeny went into hiding, and then he went into an airplane, and that airplane kind of blew up in midair because of, coincidences and accidents that always happen in Russia against the political opponents of Vladimir Putin. Oops, it is. But I have a couple questions, because I know a lot of people are automatically saying, yes, they did it. They tried to take out Putin. A couple questions here that even Mario Lafall connects. I started to connect it to, specifically asking the question, this is in the street. There's no FSB, there's no security here, there's no reports of any casualties here. It looks like there's an engine fire that just happened here with very loose extrapolations of people saying, yes, that's Putin's limousine. I don't see any official kind of connections here other than just pure speculation. And this could be to create more of just the false Western narratives, which we see here overwhelmingly, that are just a little exhausting right now. I'll just be honest. Like, there's so much fake news by all sides here. The first casualty of any kind of conflict is the truth. And that's exactly what we're seeing here throughout all of this. And these war of words that are unfolding right now really are a little bit ridiculous. As John Bolton, a man who has always wanted other people to sacrifice their lives for his cause for neoconservative policies, a man who is a war hawk but never actually done any legitimate real fighting himself, just came out in an article in Politico saying that he thinks he and Putin are friends. Bolton says Trump is getting manipulated. Again, releasing scuttlebutt here, trying to push the world leaders apart. And it looks like Putin and Trump are at odds with each other with a very public war of words that we're going to be getting into here in a little bit. As now, allegedly, there's also a Gallup poll showing how 69% of Americans want to sustain military aid to Ukraine at current levels, as other people are saying. Yeah, that's just warmongering rhinos wanting to fill up the coffers of the military-industrial complex. As I strongly question the poll, I strongly question the wording that was used here, as overwhelmingly the consensus with Donald Trump when he became president of the United States that a lot of people supported him for was him saying, I'm going to end this. I'm going to end this day one. We're a little bit past that, and now we're at the point of breakdown of communications, which we warned you about and said, hey, a couple things to look out here as soon as this process began. And again, I hate patting myself here on the shoulder, but again, we told you, this is going to be extremely complicated. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be day one. There's a lot of things to unravel, and there's a lot of different countries involved here that Donald Trump also wants to make side deals specifically with. So this is going to be a very complicated, convoluted process that there's going to be a lot of powers at play here that are going to try to sabotage it. It looks like those powers were successful, and now we're going to have the kind of perpetual continuation of this conflict and war. We told you this at the beginning of this. We told you this a couple days ago. We told you this a couple weeks ago. And what my source is coming to me saying, hey, this is looking pretty severe here. It does look like we are on the precipice of a very serious situation. Before telling you more specifically about the tough words from Donald Trump against Vladimir Putin, we want to tell you about LukeUnfiltered.com. If you haven't signed up for that, what the hell are you doing? Why? Excuse me. Sign up. And it's just very expletive laden. We don't, family friendly show here, so I might just do a special Q&A just for members soon as well. But we do range days, we do nature hikes, we do a lot of fun stuff. I was out and about in Miami, and randomly just walking around some of the communities here. A lot of people are like, hey, I love yourself. I'm like, I gotta do another meetup here. So we're gonna do another meetup very soon here in Miami with members of LukeUnfiltered.com. That's what you sign up, building communities, building friendships and partnerships. And again, I met some really awesome people through some of these meetups, so we're going to do it again very soon. Now, let's talk about Trump lashing out now against Putin, as the Daily Mail has a very intriguing title that always has people clicking, saying Trump lashes out at Putin in emotional two-word rebuke as Ukraine peace talks collapse. As now we have Trump saying that he is very angry and pissed off at Putin, specifically addressing this during an NBC interview, as these are the comments that he's making publicly. Now imagine the comments that he's making privately, as the two have talked officially a couple days ago. Donald Trump was very optimistic after that talk, and there was a concession deal made saying, okay, we're going to implement a slow ceasefire. First, we're not going to go after the infrastructure. Then we're not going to go after the Black Sea. And then as soon as that happened, there was fighting. The Ukrainians said that the Russians attacked their hospital, so the Ukrainians made a deliberate onslaught, a very big escalatory attack on their energy infrastructure, which was the stipulation, which was the first step in all of this. And then the Russians now are retaliating with these swarm drone attacks that air defenses cannot stop. And the Russians are having a lot of success. Instead of launching one drone, waiting for a few minutes, what they started to do, and they did this in Odessa, now they're doing this in the Zaporizhia region, from all the war fighting and the war maps that I'm looking at and all the intel that I'm getting, they're instead of just sending one, they're like, okay, we're going to line them all up. We're going to send like 100. We're going to send 177, all that one. And then the Ukrainian air defenses kind of collapse here, and the Russians are making significant gains here when it comes to destroying Russian territory. And now Trump is pissed off at them.
Just hours ago, President Trump called me to tell me he is, quote, pissed off with Russia's President Putin and threatened to impose secondary tariffs on Russia's oil. Quote, if Russia and I are unable to make a deal on stopping the bloodshed in Ukraine, and if I think it was Russia's fault, which it might not be, but if I think it was Russia's fault, I am going to put secondary tariffs on all oil coming out of Russia. Mr. Trump said 25% tariffs on Russian oil could happen any moment and told me he plans to speak with President Putin this week. The president told me, quote, I was very angry, pissed off when Putin started getting into Zelensky's credibility and started talking about new leadership in Ukraine. Hours ago.
Yep. All of this right after Zelensky came out and started to make public pleas, demanding that the West respond to these Russian onslaught drone attacks that we just talked about. It wasn't 177. It was 172 drones that were sent overnight that the Ukrainians are having difficulties with their Western tech stopping and avoiding from being able to hit their targets. Now, Zelensky, a couple weeks ago, this is specifically from the Western point of view, was the one that was coming out and saying no to the minerals deal, saying no to the debt, saying no to direct talks with Putin. He has since changed his tune, and originally he was one of the first kind of naysayers in this peace deal. And now it looks like the onus is on Putin, as Donald Trump here is highlighting how, Putin now is the one that is not coming to the negotiation table, who's, quote, not serious about peace deal. That is what is being described right now as Vladimir Putin isn't just launching more aggressive drone and military attacks against the Ukrainians. He's also, of course, going to be claiming a lot of the Ukrainian territory as his. Now, Donald Trump also is very serious about making significant moves in Greenland. He has since escalated his rhetoric and not taken military action off of the table when it comes to taking over the Denmark portion here of the Arctic Circle. Now, when we look at Canada, when we look at Denmark, and we look at the United States, we could see why Donald Trump wants these key coveted territories, specifically with just the huge amounts of natural resources. Now, with the consideration and talks about these ice caps melting and new rare earth minerals being kind of released here, and potentially new territories for safe havens if there's a polar shift, highlights how Donald Trump isn't playing. Donald Trump also came out and had very strong words against Iran, saying specifically, you guys better do an Iran deal. You guys better stop trying to work on some nuclear bomb here, or we're going to bomb the crap out of you like you never saw before. That's not his exact quote verbatim, but that's what he's saying right now, as Iran has very close ties to Russia, and the Russian war machine has been boosted significantly with the significant increase of the drones that they're getting from Iran that they're using in this conflict. That has made a big difference in this theater of conflict. Now, the New York Times also came out with a very surprising article talking about the direct United States secret military partnership with Ukraine, describing in great detail how the CIA helped, coordinated, planned, utilized, and weaponized the Ukrainians to specifically go after Russian targets in Russian territory, sabotaging a lot of their supply units, a lot of their arms depots, and making significant progress against trying to beat down the Russian war machine that has been activated here throughout all of this fighting. Now, what we learn from this kind of New York Times article is that we were far more involved than we were letting on to. Because if you remember, the United States was like, oh, the Ukrainians are just doing this. Especially under the Biden administration when they were escalating things very significantly. Like, oh, gee whiz. Those Ukrainians, we're going to tell them not to do this. Oh, we're going to wag the finger. They really escalated here. As the Biden administration, Blinken, and all these other kind of neoliberal, neocon warmongers were slowly pushing the red lines, which is a dangerous scenario, which is a dangerous situation to do here, specifically with the things that are on the line here. Now, this article, again, very eye-opening to just all of the things happening behind the scenes that we were told, no, it's not happening, no way, as reported by the New York Times previously beforehand. Now, there's a lot of people saying, yeah, it's going to be World War III. It's going to be conscription. Yeah. Now, whatever you might take from these kind of sensationalistic Mirror and the Sun articles, it is important to note here that we are not in a good position. This is not a position that is good. This is not a position that a lot of people thought they were going to be in. This is a position that slowly and surely could escalate here to something very serious and something that could affect.
All right, I'm gonna go.
There's two roads.
I'm gonna go take a little nap. I can barely keep my eyes open. My body wants me to take a nap, apparently. I don't want to. I want to crochet, and it's my only day to do it, and I want to finish this dress. Because I want to wear it.
Utilizes us being able to cooperate and work with each other.
I need to take a break. I'm gonna take a 45-minute nap, and then I'll be back. I'll come back either here or Bigo. I'm not sure which one, but I'll be back a little later. Love you guys.
I don't know about you,